welcome to the Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse Shopping Network. Shipping Goblin Bob here is going to tell you all about our new Platinum Edition. It's my favorite.
Thanks, George. Friends, are you tired of putting a cat, a flask of poison, and a source of radiation into a sealed box and having to settle for a cat that's dead or alive? Well, Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse has the product for you. Introducing the Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition. With the Schrodinger's Platinum Box, you can have both versions of your pet at the same time. Free yourself from objective collapse and enjoy a cat that simultaneously exists in two decoherent realities. It's time for atomic indeterminacy to enter the macroscopic domain. It's time for Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition.
Yeah. She's totally dead. But totally alive.
Only from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. Simultaneously available and sold out now.
Gather, my chosen, and heed the call to a saga of adventure, a song to end all. Forged from the cord, two worlds given birth, one made of awesome, the other no worth. Mutilated, abused, the cord was unstrung. When their mirror was shaped, a gray waste begun. Born of the remainder, its fate was unbound. A land of pure metal, the glorious sound. Rise, find your glory. Rise and be free upon the fields of Ragnarok to victory. The gods of metal cry out, demanding blood, sweat, and fear. Seek treasure, find glory, pay tribute for all to hear. Faith must be proven in the pits of these lands. Your songs must rise above as the chosen form bands. Immortality awaits those avatars who believe. With blade, steel, and destiny, what tales shall you weave? Rise, shed your shackles, rise and be free. Deep in the halls of Ragnarok, ascend to victory! Ragnarok.
And hello, welcome. If all this seems to be working, we are finally here. We've got a lot of new trailers that you just saw, lots of new stuff that is happening right now or coming soon. So do check out some of those. As always, hello, welcome, Band of Badgers. Yes, welcome. It's Thursday night, which means after you get through this crap, you can go watch Critical Role. But I'm Dave. Well, I got one laugh, for fuck's sake. It's Thursday. The week hasn't been that hard. It's been snowing in the UK. I mean, come on. Everyone's cold. I was like, no, I'm fucking laughing. So, I'm Dave. I'm your GM and host for this game. We are, of course, playing Rise of the Runelords by Paizo. And these fantastic, beautiful people here are my players.
Hello, evening.
I thought we were the people that broke all of your plans and ruined all your dreams.
Well,
No, it was just you, Steve.
That is, yeah, generally is Steve. But that was last week. So I'm gonna crack out the level up dice, top-notch level today. So you know you're gonna get that's what you're gonna get, a big monster slap I think today.
Put back in your box.
Yes, very much so. And with us is our special guest player. Thank you everyone this is Dr. Ralph, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey Ralph!
Hey Ralph.
Dr. Ralph.
Just
How you
Ralph's good.
doing?
From Ardent Roleplay. Now, if you don't know what Ardent Roleplay is, if you literally just joined us, we had a trailer of it about all this augmented reality, fantasy goodness. We'll be chatting with Ralph around a break, around about half time. So if you do have any questions, put it into live chat, capital Q. Our moderators will collect it, forward it to me, which breaks my phone. And then I just ask Steve to read out the questions anyway. So it's a win-win, really, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it's a win-win. It
win-win.
proves we're built around teamwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top down. Top down. Yes. But as always, we also have a giveaway. So Ralph has generously donated some bits and pieces, but we will let you know what that is closer to the time. We won't give the game away just yet. But thank you, Ralph, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the game. So yeah, we'll find out what your character is and who you actually are when we start the game.
And how many times you're going to try and kill us.
Yeah. And just to point out, Dr. Ralph is actually in Australia. He's literally just finished his breakfast. While here in the UK, it's just gone 9 o'clock and we're going to have a beer. So cheers, everyone.
Oh, for people who've got beer.
Well, he could, maybe he's got a beer and he pulled on his cornflakes. I don't know. He might have been on the lash last night. I have no idea. Also, thank you very much to Beetle and Grims. I will always give a shout out and salute you and love them. They are not just supporters of this particular program, but our entire channel. And loads of stuff going on. We've got one more member of the Fab Five joining us in a few weeks' time. So,
what do we get for completing the set, Dave?
I don't know. I'm going to ask the very same question. So
Characters killed, not us.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. Now, thank you to all of our supporters, however big and small you are. You'll probably find in the box below me are some notifications, some discounts about various stuff that's coming up. Right now it's Ragnarok. That was another trailer. Check that out. It's on Kickstarter. You've got a few, I think there's about a week more to go on that. Not only, and I'm just going to mention this, not only is it a heavy metal rock god game, a role-playing game, all this kind of good fun stuff, but the GM Shield is actually an album sleeve. There is a proper vinyl album inside. So do check out that Kickstarter. We'll be putting links into live chat, as I've just literally informed Steve that he can go off and do that now.
I've already done it.
There you go. Is that good? That's why he's my number 2.
I think you mean number 1, but there we go.
I am top dog and number 1.
No.
I am my own assistant. I am good. But anyway, there's a link in there as well, so do check it out. Now, if you would like to support us, you can. Send us loads of money. It's the way you do it, really. We do accept gold, of course, but there is this thing called Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Amazon Prime Twitch subscription or something gibberish like that. But anyway, it doesn't cost you a penny, but we get £2. So anything you can do to help support us, to help us make more content. As you saw, we've got more programs. We've got Vazen coming in March. We've got Vampire coming in March. We've got more Starfinder coming in April. So do stay tuned for all of that. Whew. Now, so that's programs in the future. That's all stuff because of you, our business supporters and our general public supporters. Thank you very much for doing that. It has allowed us to expand. It has allowed us to do more. Now, next week, we've got a busy week. This week is a quiet week. It's just Thursday. I've had a bit of a rest. I say I've had a bit of a rest. I've been in meetings till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. because I'm talking to people all over the world.
That does not sound like a rest.
No.
It is not a rest. But hey, we sleep when we're dead. So let's just...
No, we literally
let's just
don't.
No. But you know, I've had a good run. I've enjoyed it. But,
All right, I'll remember to say that, Dave.
yeah, thank you. You just play this back because we'll stick it on YouTube. If I live long enough to put it onto YouTube, we can play that back. So Monday we have the next exciting episode of the Great British Brush Off. It's been really, really well received. We're loving the feedback we're getting from everyone. Please do come and join us. We're going to be painting some minis, and it's a really kind of chill out, zen kind of a couple of hours. We have a guest professional painter with us, plus a guest. I'm not going to spoil it and tease you just yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be sending out the promotions tomorrow across all our socials, so do check it out. Steve, who plays Elias, he's also in there, so he's been enjoying it too.
I have.
There we go.
And I've been painting offline as well. So I finished the one that I started last week.
Yay.
I've been painting some more of mine, but I still haven't finished it yet. You still
I
there,
thought you were
Steve?
going to show some more.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I dropped.
No.
No.
David
went
dropped.
quiet.
We're waiting for more to be shown, Steve.
No, we're waiting for more.
Sorry, yeah, no, so I've also been painting some unauthorised minis, so I've done that.
Unauthorized.
Oh, shut down! Right, blimey.
But this is
No.
this is still my favourite. That's my favourite. The blue goblin.
Blue
is my
goblin.
Blue
favourite.
Goblin.
And I can't reach the one that I'm going to start this weekend, which is the Undead Beholder.
Fantastic.
Steve, that's an excellent name for a pub. The Blue Goblin. That is the best name ever.
If I ever buy a pub, it will be called that.
Cool.
And the club could be called the Undead Beholder?
The downstairs club, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's Monday. The Great British Brush Off is Monday. Next Thursday we're back with more Runelords. Plus it's somebody's birthday.
Whose birthday could that possibly be? It's not like it's been mentioned.
No, it hasn't. It's been kept really quiet.
It's the humble mumble.
It is.
Yeah, humble.
Humble mumble. Right. So, if you would like to support my birthday, send cash. That's also we have an Amazon wish list if you want to. But anyway, so next Friday we have another episode of our Annihilation, Tomb of Annihilation, our D&D game, and then there's even more. Saturday, we are kind of back. If you were here very early on, you would have seen one of the trailers. We are going to be on Australia's premiere gauntlet run for role-playing games. It is called The Shifting Spire. And the Band of Badgers has been chosen to be the first victims. It's going to be 6 hours of grueling, hard tasks as we start on the ground floor and ascend 10 or 12 levels to the top. So come and join us. We've got a variety of Badgers playing us with a variety of characters from our previous Badger games. So do kind of check us out for that. I hope you can join us. We'll be putting shout-outs for between now and then. So we'll let you know how to find us, how to follow us on that one. So please do. And breathe. Right, now just going to do some shout outs. Who we got? Ch03. Ch03 has done some fantastic artwork for us. Now some of the artwork is behind our players. Rupp looks like he's a giant Rupp now.
Yeah.
Harrison, is that still your new one or your old one?
This is the new one.
Okay, you're still off centre then. Maybe it's just where you put your chair.
Yeah, it's where you put your chair.
Yeah.
He sits at an angle.
Hang on.
He's jaunty.
That's worse. Hang on. Let's just try and fix it.
But he's done.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Check out Sean's artwork. Again, there'll be an advert in the box below. He is taking commissions. He's a fantastic cartoonist and artist. If you want any character art for your role-playing games, do get in touch. Let's see who else is in here. I don't have a full list of names. So, Anonymous75, thank you very much for joining us. Baron Snowhand, thank you again for joining us one more time. Here we got Carbon, thank you. Chav Hunter's back. Customer Mortorium. Is that right? Customer Mortorium? But
I can't see that in my my list.
Custos Mortorium. There we go. Dr. Ralph is, of course, in the house. Jayazo. It depends. Which J is that? Is that Better Backstories J or a different J? Let me know. Lauren, Marissa, thank you for joining us, Marissa. Who else said? The
red soup.
Red soup.
The red
soup. The red soup, not their bee soup. And of course, you will never know. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to go straight into the action because last week we ended the session as Rupp was basically powering up. So we're just going to rewind like 5 seconds to where Rupp. I don't know, is this kind of the hulking out for Rupp?
Yeah, a little bit. His eyes have gone a shade of violet, and his cloak is billowing, and is starting to.
There's not even air in this room. It's just billowing with full magical mares. You've got like fire in your eyes that's coming out with purple stuff. Go for it.
Okay.
I totally thought he'd swallowed his coin and was about to move in for the Heimlich maneuver.
So is that the extent of the recap, Dave? Or are you
yeah,
done?
Okay. I can do a recap, but basically...
I don't know. I'm not...
Right, so the heroes have decided to take the fight to an ogre clan deep in the mountains. So they left the relative safety of Fort Rannoch, trekked for days with all these evil encounters, which I had to throw out because Elias used a magical spell to basically whisk them away. So I literally just threw it all out. And they got to the Hook Mountain where the Kreeg clan live. They took out the guards. They got in through a dragon's rib cage, was the entrance to the clan, and took out some guards. There was a couple of ogres picking on a hill giant, and that was quite a successful turn of events. I won't go into it. You can watch it on YouTube. And then, as Rupp turned the corner, he was at the top of the stairs leading down into a very big cavern. There were lots and lots of ogres hammering away. They're taking molten metal, pouring it into the different shapes of different weapons, hammering them out, and it was like a really big production line. Rupp then decided to Hulk out.
Okay, so the fires either side on the back of the room start turning a bright shade of violet as the fire starts to rise into a cocoon of fire in the middle of the room as the 40-foot high cylinder comes out and bursts into a butterfly which sprays fire with its wings over a few of the ogres. As I cast Flame Strike, as Divine Flame starts to erupt from the butterfly's wings.
Wow. Okay. How do you want to do this?
Reflex save, please.
Already? They're dead?
A reflex save for 6 of them, please.
Okay.
I think the ones in the back. So
let's go. We'll pick up the battle cam, see if it goes in. There we go. So that's so you can see everyone there. Rupp there is at the bottom of the stairs. Now what you do see is, let's say ogre number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ogre number 3 is you kind of just recognise this. Oop, not that one. That was handouts. That button. I've got so many buttons here. There we go.
Oh, saw something.
This is the ogre, and he's the one who spots you. Just everyone else is in their production line, hammering around. He's the only one who's not near an anvil, not part of the production line, and he kind of just slowly turns around as you're powering up and sees you. Now, you would like me to do a reflex
saves. 6 reflex saves, please.
Okay, fail.
On the one ogre.
Fail. Fail. Pass. Pass. Fail.
Okay, they take 37 points of divine fire damage. Half if they fail. If they succeed, sorry.
Right.
Burn your ass.
So, as you say, the power from the butterfly wings erupts into this room, hits the first ones, including this ogre who's dressed in armor. He's actually got 3 skulls as a helmet on his head. 2 are human, and the center one is like a demon skull with horns. The flames erupt, going first through the people at the front, and then the oil barrels nearby explode. The room explodes into one huge fireball, and then comes back and hits you as well.
Okay.
So can everyone apart from Dr. Ralph make a reflex throw, please?
Reflex throw?
Reflex throw.
29.
Oh, great.
48.
Holy moly.
What?
I thought I'd done well.
Sorry, 38, sorry.
Okay, right. I'm glad.
31.
23.
I rolled in that 20, so...
oh, nice.
My lovely level up dice.
Okay, did anyone get less than 20?
No.
Okay.
I was the lowest.
Okay, so it's 96 points of damage. You pass the reflex saving throw, so you take half. So
okay.
6.
Yep.
That's a
As
lot.
this wave of fire and heat and pure devastation just comes crashing back onto you and up through the stairs.
Sorry, how much was that? I missed the...
48.
You get half, so it's 48.
48.
48.
I mean, I have 96 hit points total, so that's pretty easy for me to take half of.
Okay, and you all get kind of pushed back onto the steps themselves. You all get blown sort of 10, 15 feet back. You would do, but there's steps. So it's like, poof, you just get hammered into it. You feel the heat, the blistering out as it rolls past you as well. Up and out.
Can Harrison do a hero landing as he gets blown backwards?
You can do. It is on the stairs, so depending on where you are on the stairs, because you're in the middle of the stairs at the moment.
Yeah, I'll do one of those things where the hero lands on one knee and does that kind of fist on the floor type thing.
Well, that's when you fall from a great height, not from when you get pushed backwards by a fireball.
I'll be doing a backflip as I do it or something.
Maybe do a reverse roly-poly.
Well, you roll the athletics and we'll make it happen.
Go on then, let's do it.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that was a
And that
5
one.
plus 16. So, yeah.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you manage to, as this fireball rolls across you, get hit by the blast, you use that momentum. You push yourself off, you do a perfect backflip, and as you go around, you see where you're going to be landing, where Elias was previously standing. Elias gets blown back, because he's at the top of the stairs. and he's gone right back. Yelena as well has also flown back like 20 foot each.
We just flown back into the ogre that I impaled.
If you want to, now that you've reminded me.
Bounced off of him.
No, you're fine. You've
Cushioned.
Yeah. But everyone else, so Tulkas, Rupp, and not Harrison. So Tulkas and Rupp, you've crashed into the stairs. Harrison, you've done it. What would you like to do?
Hold on, I have got a feat called Steady Balance, which means even in adverse conditions, I can balance. Can I use that to not fall over?
I'm going to say no, because it's an instant explosion. You're going to get pushed back. There's stairs, so straight away, it's not like you can put your foot back.
No, yeah, actually,
the stairs.
Yeah, don't worry. Reading on, it's more about balancing on things rather than keeping your balance while you're just like on your feet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Anyone else?
Rupp's just covered in soot, I assume, or something. Some sort of...
You're still slightly smoking. You go, a little bit tender.
Can I get up and point my staff with the light in the direction of through the smoke? Is anything left?
Okay, so through the smoke and the soot that's still kind of clearing, you can see there are areas of where the barrels were, almost kind of craters. You see husk after husk around the room, and appears to be no ogres left. You've pretty much exploded all of them with that.
Not even the big one?
Not even the big one.
I thought that my thing was overkill up, but
yeah.
really...
Jeez,
I didn't think it would be that big.
I didn't think anybody would ever make me feel sorry for ogres, Rupp. You have done the one up there.
If you do a perception check, Rupp.
Yeah. That is 28.
Okay, so as you're kind of using the staff as a torch, kind of looking and surveying everything you've done, you kind of start to look up, and something catches your attention. It seems to be maybe 20 foot up in like basically there's a hole in the wall, some metal iron bars across it, about 20 foot up into the far wall, and inside seems to be a pair of eyes looking back at you.
Disembodied eyes, gross.
Okay. I get my way through the smoke and just like brush myself off and try and go forward through, trying to avoid the charred bodies, and go towards and just say, "Hello? Anyone here still alive?"
And over to you, Ralph.
Oh, you're muted.
You're
I think.
muted. You're still muted.
That's it.
Hey, that was impressive. Could have warned a lad.
Yeah, that would involve warning the ogres as. Are you an ogre? I'll fight you.
I'm not an ogre.
I'll bite your
I'm a halfling. Oh, can't even tell an ogre from a halfling. How would you get an ogre into a hole like this?
A halfling? Oh, I'm a halfling.
Yes, you'd think you'd recognise your own.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Are you related to this one as well, Rupp? Is this another future shadow to do with?
What type of halfling are you, by the way, Ralph?
Well, I'm an observant halfling, unlike this.
Okay.
Just throws into stuff. I don't know. Are you from Merician?
Yeah. But you know, I'm a gusty one, so I'd probably recognise the different types. But like, yeah, I'd just be like, yeah, I think he's not from my place, but we'll see. I don't know.
Down from Turtleback Ferry. Do you know anybody in Turtleback Ferry?
Yeah, we just came from there. I'm not from there, but yeah, cool.
Sorry, that explosion. My accent's still settling.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, brilliant, Ralph.
Every day. So are you a prisoner here?
Well, that depends on whether you let me out or not. So if you let me out, then I'm not. But if you keep me in, then I am.
Okay, let's let you out then.
Let me out, because I don't think these ogres are going to feed me. Not that you could tell the slop they threw at my cage food, but look, I'm happy to join you and clear out more if you'd like.
I reach in my bag and try and look for a pastry to give him.
Oh, I love this guy.
From Turtleback Ferry, I'm sure I got something. So yeah, I reach in, give him a pastry, and say, "Tulkas, please get this guy out. The bars are a bit."
How high up was it, Dave? Sorry.
It's about 20 foot.
20 foot. Are we going to get up there up first? Is there a ladder? Can anyone see a ladder?
Can we shoot the gloves grappling hook at it?
Oh yes. Let's do that. I love a bit of comedy.
But before we
Isn't there a dwarf you can toss up?
Before we release this man, we need to make sure that he's not going to, our experience with random people that turn up unexpectedly in our adventures.
Harrison, he's a halfling. He's fine.
Okay. Well, if you can vouch for him, Rupp, I'll take your word. But
it will be fine, brother. Don't worry.
You'll excuse me for being wary about.
He's
people.
tired and hungry. Look at him. There's no.
Those are the dangerous ones. You know, I've seen many poor people in my time. So,
is there a ladder or anything to get up there, Dave, or is it just like a wall?
There's nothing to get up there. The ogres didn't need to. They can just reach.
I once saw another circus troupe do like a human pyramid. Maybe you guys can try that.
Even if we get up there, the bars, like, I can imagine they're not weak. We need to put Tulkas up there, probably.
I was just going to say, if Elias doesn't mind burning a spell, he could make me giant, and I could get up there easy.
I think we should just shoot the rope up there and try and pull the bars down.
Oh, for comic value, I agree.
Give it a mighty tug, and we'll get him down. So I'll do a twist, a spinny thing with the grappling hook, and I'll fire it off into the bars. Do you want me to roll for that?
I'll just scurry to the back.
Stand back.
I can roll for that if you want, Dave.
Go for it.
All right. Can you do that, or is Elias going to do his telekinetic thing?
18 plus whatever I'm rolling for.
Yep. You managed to secure the grappling hook to the bars. You've got the rope.
Okay. Who wants to help me pull? Do you want to do this with me, Tulkas?
I thought you'd never ask, brother. We go pulling together.
So I will be doing the minimum amount of pulling, and I'm letting Tulkas do the majority of the work. I'll be looking like I'm doing a lot of it, but actually Tulkas is doing all of it.
Why does this sound familiar?
Rupp will try his hardest. Try his hardest to pull as well.
Right, this is going to be an athletics check, isn't it? I assume, Dave.
Yes, please.
I'll chuck a guidance at Tulkas.
That roll also matches Harrison's behaviour.
11 on the dice plus 19, which is 31, isn't it?
Okay.
Plus
so
you extra one.
You get the rope, wrap it around your arm. You don't even kind of take a step back. You just go, and you just see the bars as it comes crashing to the ground. And Rupp is like,
"Look out, everybody!"
Rupp throws down this rope.
No, I think as soon as he starts pulling the rope, it gets tensioned, and I just go up, like flying off the ground.
Athletics check. Yep, and
a bit dusty, but bravo, very good. You're better than that other circus troupe I saw. This is great.
So you pulled the door off. You've still got to get him out.
Can you climb down, or you could jump? I'll catch you.
Well, he can jump, and we can fix that. If you just jump, trust us, it'd be like a leap of faith.
Ooh.
Just turn round, face inside the tunnel, and fall backwards with your arms spread wide.
God. Dave make him roll for that.
This guy's funny. I might just, I might do a little bit of, hang on the thing and try and do a bit of a climb or something and
Okay,
just,
so you
know,
see,
but
he's kind of crawling out arse first, gets his legs
Could
over,
we
and then
not
hangs down
just,
from his
like-
arms against the wall. He's just hanging there.
Could we not just fling the grappling hook up again, and then he could climb down the rope?
I was going to
Maybe?
do Featherfall.
Or that would also work.
yeah, that would have been a good idea.
Do it
Just
now.
let go. Just let go. It'll be fine.
All
Trust
right,
me.
I trust you.
I'm an experienced professional.
He's only
Let
like
go.
10 foot up
Do
or
it.
something.
Come on, do it now.
This is like that bit in Die Hard. Okay, here we go.
I'll cast Featherfall.
Okay. I was going to say,
Floats
so
gracefully to the ground.
as he lets go, I thought he was going to say, so when I count to 3, and where's he gone?
Is it 1 to 3 or 3 to 1? I can never tell.
But let go on the 3 or after the
Yeah.
3?
Is it on the 3? After? Is there
Okay.
Mississippi's in between?
So he kind of lets go, and he kind of just gently falls down the side of the rock face, just wiping up all the recent soot that's just been put on there. And he turns around
I
and
just
he's
float down
he's
like a
just
leaf
covered.
in the wind.
Yep.
How's the how do you say ventilation in this cave?
Well, you notice all of the there seems to be like an air suction, if you like. So there's definitely must be air further down the inside the mountain, because the smoke and the soot, which is still being poured out, is going up across the roof and then back down the corridor where you came from. So it must be. And if you remember, at the entrance at the mountain, the entrance was all sooty.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Their sweep as well.
No.
That's a niche reference.
Yeah. No one outside of the UK is going to get that one. Most people in the UK probably wouldn't get it either.
Careful, we may get sued. I don't know why I'm doing Harrison's jokes. He's here.
Yeah. Today's episode sponsored by Shipping Sweeping Soup.
Retro TV.
What do your character look like, Ralph?
Oh yes, that'd be nice.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for getting me out of that hole. So, I am Mordecai Took, at your service. You can just call me Mort for short. See, yeah.
Mort, I like that.
Yeah, Mort like death. It's good. I'm as you can say, well, if you could tell, if it wasn't for the suit, I'd have quite pale skin. But the dark hair, certainly, you can obviously see the dark hair.
Sorry, Ralph.
What's so funny? Everybody always called me sort of baby face because of my smooth, useful complexion. But I have to tell you, I've been, in this hole, and my troop, we got captured. I'm a Black Arrow, the mercenaries from the Fort Rannick.
Black Arrow, you say?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm a Black Arrow.
we have some bad news for you.
What's the news?
I think maybe Elias should tell you. I don't like giving bad news.
It's in a bit of disarray, the fort.
Yeah, it certainly was when they dragged me out. We fought, we tried. It was a mess, and they caught really most of me and my comrades during that. And I have to tell you, what they did to my comrades was not nice. I don't know. I may quite possibly be the last Black Arrow left. From a quiver to a stick.
You're not the
do we
last.
tell
But
him?
Bastards.
you're not the last, but there's not many left.
Well, at least I'm
Fort
not the
Rennick
last.
Fort Rennick was taken over, but we got rid of the ogres there. Well, there are a lot of them taken out. The Grulls, they took care of quite a few, but we destroyed them at their farmstead. We killed the Kreegs that had taken over Fort Rannick, and we're here to hunt down the last of the ogres that we believe are hiding out in this mountain. So, going forwards, your ogre problem will be taken care of, but there's some rebuilding to do in the Black Arrows, I'm afraid.
Harrison will walk over to Elias, elbow him slightly, and simulate an opening of a parchment of sorts, not actually having the parchment in his hand.
Oh yes, well remembered, Harrison. Well remembered. So, Mort for short. What was your full name?
Mordecai Took.
Okay, it's
just my brother because he talks a lot. Hornblower Took.
Interesting.
Blowing his own horn.
I'll check out the old
Soul Scroll.
The Soul Scroll and see if either of those names appear on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while Elias is checking the scroll,
the big ogre. Did you say he had a helmet on?
He kind of had a makeshift helmet made of 3 skulls.
Right. Would it fit on Rup?
One skull might fit on Rup.
Is it even left?
Not all 3.
Well, he's not. Well, yeah. Can I try and take the hat, basically?
Yep. So he was near the front when you ignited him, and sort of, burned him alive. So you go over to where he is. He's obviously a big body, but you can now see that although his flesh is charred, he's pretty cooked. You can get a better look at his armor. This armor has been made to fit. You also find
like the other ogres we had. But...
Yeah, unlike the ones at the entrance, weren't it? That were all raggedy. Or was it the other way around?
No, they were pretty.
They were well armed, I think.
No, sorry, the ones we met before that we defeated before. Those were raggedy, weren't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is armor that has been made to fit this individual. You also find a very small set of still hot iron keys. And what most of it's burnt again. What looks to be a bit of a barbed whip.
Oh, can I cast detect magic? See if there's anything around the room that's actually glowy apart from us.
There's nothing. No, I will say actually you get a faint hum, but it seems to be coming from all around the room, like almost the edges of the room. There's a faint hum of magic.
Harrison will pick up the keys. He will whip out a handkerchief that has a H in the corner of it, which is typical Harrison fashion, and pick up the hotkeys that are on the floor.
It's not because they're hot, it's because they're dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely because they're dirty.
You go to pick up the keys, you unhook them from his belt. Okay, you got a set of 3 or 4 keys.
Okay.
Do we need to think about healing up a little bit before we continue on with anything else?
That sounds like a good plan, Tolkus.
Before we forget, because I know what we're like, we're getting to the next fight and everybody will look at their sheet and go, oh crap, I'm on half hit points.
Okay, let's start the ward round if we
Oh, that's what you need to get, a collapsible hospital. Like, you get the collapsible boat, get a hospital that collapses.
Yeah, not sure that's good. My healer's kit will only last so long, I guess. But yeah.
I'm kind of wandering around and just grabbing some daggers and weapons and stuff that I can find because I've been up in that hole a little bit bare.
Oh yeah. Have you got sorry, Mort, you've got any armor at all, or are they taking it off you?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah, he's wearing basic clothes, mostly rags.
Yeah.
You'd notice he's also been. It looks like he's been beaten several times.
Do you need any help with that? you, I'm usually quite good with the bandages and everything.
I'm going to swap our people around a little bit because we've just had a flutter. Someone disconnected.
It was me.
Thanos just clicked his fingers.
Blame Steve.
Yeah. Well, you can blame me because it was me. I departed the meeting at the point where you was talking about collapsible hospitals. Would you like me to cast collapsible hospital?
You seriously got a spell called collapsible hospital?
Well, I can rename it from cozy cabin to collapsible hospital.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, brilliant.
I don't think I need a whole hospital, but just a little
think...
bit of fixing up would probably be good.
I think if Rupp drops one of his heal bombs, we should be alright, shouldn't we?
I can, yes. Do you want me to do
it's
that?
Mainly, I'm probably okay because I've just been sitting up in the hall. But it's probably mainly I just need a bit of gear because I want to get these bastards back for what they did.
Yeah,
I have to say these ogres around lying around here were not really the Kreeg. Like the Kriegs that you killed were the bad guys, but these guys have just been kind of working.
Oh, they're like workers? They're not being aggressive or anything?
No, these I don't think these guys were all that happy with the Kriegs either, actually, truth be told.
Did you hear anything? Any stories or anything, any worthwhile information whilst you were here locked up?
Well, these ogres all just wanted to go home to their families. They were all caught by the Kriegs to help them make stuff. So, they were kind of in the same boat I was in. Well, I was in a hole. They weren't in a hole, but a bit better than that. But
I'm kind of glad that I didn't kill any of them now.
Thanks, Tolkus.
Apart from the one at the entrance who I split in half.
Didn't hear the name Ackland, did you? Whilst you were buried? Sorry, not buried.
Buried?
I don't know. That was the first word that came to my head. In your hole, did you hear the name Ackland?
Ackland.
It's just a name we've come across recently that we haven't explained who he is and what he is. So it's just a name that I have in my head. So. But if you've not heard him, then that's fine. It's just passing.
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
Fair enough.
The explosion rang a lot of bells, but
so these ogres were forced into this?
Yes. These were all prisoners of war of the ogre. The ogres were all just getting other ogre clans, smaller ones in. The Kriegs were bastards, I tell you. Bastards.
Okay.
But there's still stuff to take, so.
Okay, I burst heal everyone in the room.
Burst.
And that heals for everyone from 19, 23, 28, 30 points of healing for everyone.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Um,
Okay, what's everyone else doing while they're having their chat?
Tolkus is trying to help Mort find some gear that he can use.
That's fine. You find various sizes of daggers, machetes, short swords, long swords.
Mort, can you use any of these weapons?
Yeah, I'll grab me some of those daggers and a filcher's fork and things if you can find stuff, so that'll be nice. I start to refill, I start to cut little pockets in my rags and just slide daggers in.
Did you have equipment on you when they captured you, Mort? Maybe we can find it somewhere in here.
I had some leathers, you know, the army leathers that we wear. To
Yes.
find those, that'd be good. But you know,
We'll be looking around for those, Dave.
Okay.
Harrison's going to, with the keys, have a look to see if there's any doors that these keys may lead to in the area. Try and like navigate through the. I don't know how much smoke is still in the area still, but going to navigate through the room to find some doors.
Aren't there any dragon bones in this room, like there were in the corridor?
Oh, good question.
No, not in this chamber.
Not in this chamber. Okay. Any runes on the wall or anything? Can I go and just look around?
Everything. This is not a closed-off room. There is actually 3 passages that you see from the stairwell where you came into the room. You didn't see it. There's kind of like an because it's curved. There's an over curve, so it's like the tunnel would have been hidden from that area. You can feel a cool draft coming up, and if you make a perception check for me.
I will do that. 34.
Okay. You, in the very, 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 very distance, you can also hear that same kind of clinking. Clink, clink, clink.
Okay.
Very far off in the distance.
They're down here, but they're a long way away. Maybe we need to go and check it out once we're all tooled up.
Sounds good.
Is it like the hammers? Like, is it the guys in the mines? Is that what it sounds like? Yeah. The you know, these ogres here that were working, some of their other family were off in the mines to get more metals and stuff out. So these guys, you know, you could even see some of them were shackled to those anvils. You know, they had to work the metals to make weapons from the metals that their family would then drag up out of the mines. This is just a mess.
They're making so many weapons and armor? Did you overhear anything?
Well, they were taking on the black arrows. They need as many weapons as they could get their hands on. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think they were just expanding and I don't know who understands greed. I mean, I understand collecting things because they're shiny, but you know, greed makes people do strange things.
You keep coming up against greed. Greed, Elias.
What made you use that word specifically?
Greed.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's seems to be so at the heart of everything that's going on. Greedy bastards. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. People call me greedy, but I'm not greedy. I'm a collector.
It's just that, well, we've come across a lot of things recently since we started our journey in Sandpoint. They all seem to be driven by the 7 deadly sins. You know, we've come across this temple that's overtly dedicated to rage, and now we think somebody here in Turtleback Ferry was doing something with souls and collecting promises and doing stuff associated with greed. The same in Magnamar as well. It was an odd choice of phrase, which is why I asked. Have you heard of it? You think you might have overheard somebody here talking about greed?
I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe it's just in the air. You know, it's certainly. There's certainly something going on. It wouldn't surprise me if it was something deep and big, and you know, something big going down.
We saw a giant here as well. Two of the ogres outside were taunting a giant, and we saw a giant at the dam, a 2-headed giant, but this is the first time we've seen a normal giant. I believe the 2-headed ones are called Ettins. But have you seen any other creatures around other than the ogres? What else have you seen around the caves?
I've been in a hole I've not seen a lot. I've seen ogres, and I've seen my my comrades tortured and killed. That's mainly it. So I'd be quite happy to give these weapons back to some people from here once we're out of this. If you know what I mean.
I'm all for giving it back to the ogres. Certainly giving it back to the ogres. Just one more question.
Yes,
in
sir.
Fort Rannick, there was a lady, a very well-to-do, well-dressed lady. You'd remember her if you saw her. She had red hair and green eyes, very well-dressed. Lucretia was her name. She seemed to be in cahoots somewhat with the Kreegs, with the ogres that had taken Fort Rannick. Have you seen her around? She escaped from us, and we're trying to track her down, particularly Harrison.
I have not seen her, but that's a shock. How could anybody be in cahoots with the Kreeg? Such a beautiful woman too. I mean, as a just a lowly soldier, I didn't. I'm a warrior. I never got to go to those sort of parties. But no, that's I've not seen her around lately. But I've only really seen her from afar. I know the one you mean. Gorgeous, as all redheads are. But no, that's bad. That's bad.
Give that man a hero point.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, we had the voting done in live chat, and Ralph Mordecai did actually win a hero point. So you won a hero point. Well done.
Yay! The
fantastic.
PP coin.
Take that down. It's always shuriken for me.
And that is it allows you to re-roll any dice you like. So you get a free roll, a free re-roll. And I won one as well.
Hey!
Yay! Boo!
Aha! 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 Right.
Rup's going to look around and see how many of the ogres were shackled to things.
Don't do it to yourself.
Looking around the room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Only the armored ogre is free. Everyone else is shackled by chains to either the anvil or the wall around the room.
Okay.
Got there up.
Yeah, I just look at Yelena and just go, yeah, this wasn't my finest moment.
You didn't know.
Yes, you didn't know, Rob. Do not beat yourself up. It's not your fault. We had come across nothing but bad ogres so far. We didn't know.
And to be fair, if you hadn't done it, then Elias would probably have just thrown a fireball. So
yes, or I would have rushed in there and chopped them up.
Yeah, sure. But fate. It has to be me, right? Like, yeah.
Things happen, Rob.
Well, I believe in fate, and has to be me.
So that thing you did, is that what your god has been showing you recently? Because that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be using that again.
Don't write it off. You just know maybe to check for oil barrels next time.
Maybe save it for the desperation next time. Like when we are desperate.
Maybe you save it for Lucretia, Rup. We'll get her next time.
Yeah.
But you want to strangle her, Alison.
Maybe we can do a combined effort, Rup. I can hold her, and you can do it at the same time.
No, don't worry.
You don't want to be too close when he does that. Telling you as someone who's a bit close, you don't want to be that close.
Harrison, you do realise that you will get injured doing that.
It's all right.
And sorry, Rob, that is my job. I'm the one that does friendly fire on Harrison. I'm not giving that up.
Well, I almost killed all of us for one.
Yeah, but you didn't.
It is but a scratch.
Yeah. I mean, that's fate. That's fate as well. I mean, but yeah.
Do not dwell on it.
I'm gonna take 10 minutes and bless all the bodies and spit on the boss guy.
That's probably better than they could have asked.
Have you got any pen and paper, Elias?
Yes, I have.
Do you mind if I borrow?
Yes, of course.
You said there was more in the mines, Mort?
Yes, yeah. Some of their families are down in the mines.
Yeah,
They're not going to be that happy. But
No.
they're not happy now, you know. But we're halflings. We also got to be a bit carefree. And if it's fate, it's fate. It's beyond us, right?
Yeah, I wrote a note on and leave it on one of the bodies on top. And I'll message you at some point, but I'll just close it up and fold it and put it in one of their hands, respectfully on their chest.
Oh, they'll respect that. I know. I reversed my cart into another person's cart once down at the
I was just gonna say
at
that
the store, and I left a note as well, and they were very happy. I mean, I spelled.
I don't think these guys will be happy, but yeah. You don't really seem too concerned about death, do you, Mort?
I'm pretty carefree, you know. Well, you know, with a name like Mort, you see a lot of death, and death happens, and it happens to us all. So, you know.
Cool. Yeah, I prefer people living. It may not seem like it, but
well, this
Can't always
went
get what you
dark
prefer.
quickly.
Are we witnessing the start of Rob's existential crisis?
Yes. Rob, as long as you don't go into an emo phase, please, like Elias did, this will be fine.
Nah, just might not be killing things for a few.
Okay.
Maybe.
I will.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you can
If you
hold
need a
us.
killing halfling, you've got one here, so it's all right. And I'm sure
probably-
as soon as Rob sees it, he'll go, "Oh, actually, that was kind of fun. I will get back to that."
I suggest we move on swiftly.
Elias, did you cast a detect magic, or was that you, Rob?
It was me.
What did you find when you casted?
The edges of the room. So I tell Elias and just say, should have a look round the. Is it the edges like the seam from the ground?
It's not. You actually now realise that it's the shackles, it's the chains are imbued with magic.
Can I take a look at them, see if I can find out what school it is or what magical effects it might be doing? I can probably guess, but I'll make an Arcana check if I may.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 24.
Okay. First off, what do you think it is?
Something to keep them either weak or demoralised.
No, it's actually it's actually protecting the chains, so they can't be, because you've got
broken.
Exactly. So you've got ogres who are making weapons. They can't break the chains.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How many sets are there?
It's one big long chain, kind of fed around the room, all kind of looped and shackled. It's got metal loops that go into the ground. But there are 11 bodies in the room. 10 of them are shackled.
All right. Too much to go in a pocket, so I shall leave them. I'll just, unbreakable magical chain may come in useful at some point in the future, but I don't think I'm going to be able to carry that.
Plus, you'd have to cut off all their legs.
That wasn't going to be a problem.
That would be. I would protest.
He'd leave a
I
note.
don't think they'd miss him.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Right, so there was 3 exits from this room, is that correct?
There's if you go back where you were, junction. If you got your handy map, there was a junction number at D5. You went south. You could have gone west, or you could have gone north.
So there isn't actually any exits from this room apart from the one we came in?
No, there are 3 tunnels, which, as Mort has described, will lead you deeper into the mines.
Right, okay. So I guess we need to decide whether we want to explore more the way we came or go deeper into the mines, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah. I don't think going deeper into the mines for now is going to be worth it. I think we need to explore the rest of this area first. This area is probably where the action is and where the leaders are. You know, if we're heading off into the mine tunnels, we might come across some more guards, but it's mostly going to be, you know, more people in shackles and stuff like that. Yeah,
I agree. Let us explore more up here. Do it now.
West or north?
I'll do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing.
The eeny, miny, meeny, mo.
Yeah.
West.
We'll go west.
Go west.
Life is peaceful there.
It's not going to be peaceful, is it?
I like Ralph's dancing there.
It's in my head now.
Yeah. Still getting those music references in.
So you go back to the my brain is just it's been a really hey, I was watching everyone in chat going, it's been a really hard week, man. It's been a really hard week. Yeah, it has. It's been a hard week for everyone. So you go back to the crossroads inside the tunnel. You decide to kind of turn a left. It's a skinny set of stairs that rises into a curve and eventually opens up into what appears to be a very foul-smelling cave. It's cluttered with an appalling amount of body parts, various dead animals, spoiled food, and just pretty much filth and shit spread all around. But most hideous is what bubbles and cooks inside a huge cauldron over a sputtering fire there's a kind of a nook to the north of this cave. Inside the cave you find I'm going to switch to the other cam just so I can put up a picture while I'm talking. You find 3 hags. They're all kind of bent over and deformed. With kind of one of them's got elongated arms. One of them is absolutely huge with no neck. All of them have their lips are peeled back, scraggly hair, and they literally have their skins are sore with full of pus-filled warts as they're kind of busy chopping bits up, kind of gleefully just cutting things up and just tossing it into the cauldron in the middle.
It's the Botox.
Rob, shoot these ones.
I cast Bless.
Oh, blow them up. It's like grab a granny night at the local club, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, according to the map, it's Harrison and Tolkus who turn the corner first.
Okay.
So that's what you see.
So, do they notice me yet?
Okay, well, if you're asking, I'll roll. No, they don't.
They're too busy cooking their fine meal.
I will turn
Harrison,
to
charm them. Go on.
I will turn to Tolkus and say, shall we kill them?
Kill the raiders.
They're not chained, are they?
No.
No.
They're walking around the bubbling cauldron, just throwing stuff in, laughing as they do. And you kind of work out that by their mannerisms and their stance, they're kind of throwing their hair back and seem like they're as they wander around, it seems like they're kind of trying to do it gracefully, but in reality, they have these kind of gangly arms and legs that shift around the room. These huge pointed sharpened teeth. Again, warts all over their dry skin faces, all down their arms. They've even got splints on like the arm between the elbow and the wrist. There's like an extra bend, and they've got kind of like splints tied to it. And you can just see these bits of bone sticking out of them.
Brother, I think this is your speciality. You should try charming them with your handsomeness. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Tulkas, I will. I know that we've only spent a few more moments with each other, but I think you know me as well as the next person, so I believe that you are right. I'm going to just stroll
better than the next person.
casually stroll towards these hags.
Tulkas pulls out his great axe and sort of puts it up behind him and holds it behind him with his hand, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's ready to pounce if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, my weapons will be sheathed.
He's seen Harrison try to chat people up before and it's never worked. So
mine will be sheathed, and I will be kind of my hands will be out as if non-threatening, and I will be confronting the hags and just say, "Hello, lovely ladies. And what are you doing down here?"
Oh, we got a charmer, ladies. Oh, well, why don't you come and have a smell? You can have a taste if you like.
As Harrison does that, can I just lean over to Tulkas and go, do you think he's ever actually chatted up a woman before?
No, never.
Okay, not just me then.
I'll say, I'm assuming I can smell what's in this pot from ages a while away, right?
Yeah. Well, not smell what's in the smell in the room. Again, there's literally shit everywhere on the floor. As you're squelch, bone, rotten skull, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Is it a kind of combination toilet / larder sort of thing?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, all they do is basically these are hags. So all they basically do is chop up and eat things.
I'm kind of imagining the kitchen at a favourite fried chicken shop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a wall nearby as I'm walking that I can lean on?
A wall?
Yes. Am I like dead? Can I be like towards the near of the wall? So what I want to do is
really.
effectively
Did you see the map in Dungeon Fog?
Sure, literally stood in the middle of the room.
In the middle of the room.
Oh, okay. So, I was imagining me. I hadn't looked at Dungeon Fog yet. Okay, so
because I'm now imagining you as Del Boy in a wine bar about to lean on.
Okay, Harrison will attempt to kind of think there's a wall nearby to kind of lean on, but realise that there's actually no wall nearby, and kind of do the stumbling thing where he's like, "Oh, okay, there's no wall there," and go.
Probably turns it into a dance move.
Yeah,
all been there.
And I'll say, we're just passing through. I fear this is a dead end. But it does this look like a dead end from where I'm standing, or is there kind of pathways off from this point?
No, this is just a big cave.
Right, okay.
There are no other exits apart from the one behind you, but you've sauntered into the room, you've opened up your mouth to greet them, and they are talking with you. So it's a little bit late to kind of change your mind and go, I wish I did something else apart from this.
I was just looking in the room as I'm talking to them. I'm just kind of seeing my surroundings, basically.
Tulkas is going to walk slowly round the bottom of the cave to the other side of them, or nonchalantly.
That's fine. We'll get to that bit. So as the hags look at Harrison, and they kind of, oh yeah, dearie, come on over, have a look. You see them. I will say Elias and Rupp and Yelena recognise this as well. They seem to be casting some kind of spell. And suddenly, around Harrison, on all four sides, a metal cage appears out of nowhere, fully surrounding him. All the proper bars are down and everything.
It's a man trap. Has it got a pint of beer in the bottom of it and a pasty?
Nope.
I feel like one of those dancers in the nightclubs.
Yeah, well, you can try it.
Okay.
So one of them comes up to you, and you can see her now, and she's about she's probably around 7 foot tall. Again, all kind of gangly. She starts putting her arm in, like, "Oh, aren't you a little pretty boy? Oh, I see you've got a bit of damage on your face. Where did you get that? Do you want me to fix it for you?"
No, it's one of my most charming features. I think I need to keep it just to impress the ladies, and I'm hoping it impresses you.
I turn to Mort and just go.
I like a bit of gristle on my meat. There's something chewable, makes it last a bit longer. Yes.
So why am I in this cage? I mean, I came here not looking for any kind of any danger, and I seem to be now trapped in a cage. It's what is this?
He wants to marry you.
Well, you're the one who came here, darling. I thought you were gonna come for dinner. You might as well stay.
Yeah, but dinner doesn't involve being caged. That generally you sit at a table and eat with silver spoons in your mouths, obviously. So.
Well, we do, darling. Don't you see the table over there? It's all set gorgeously. My sisters did that, yeah.
Well, if you release me from the cage.
But no, why would I release you, darling? You're the guest of honor.
Okay, well, and I'll look at I'll have a big massive grin on my face and kind of look back.
I bet you do, darling. Yeah, I bet you're happy in other places now, aren't you?
I'll look
you
back
will be once
else.
I give you a good stuffing.
How high is the scale of panic in your eyes?
Literally, my eyes are wide open, but with the kind of biggest grin ever. Kind of like,
It's less of a grin and more of a grimace, like
it's
you're baring your teeth.
A very big grimace.
You know what they say, Harrison? Once you've had hag, you never go back.
I've not heard that before, Tolkus.
Do we think for future we might need to issue Harrison with a safe word?
Just put him on a leash.
I just go to Elias and say, he hasn't succeeded in going from small talk to medium talk. It's not going to happen. It's not quite gone to a more personal level. I don't think we might need to intervene.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah. I'm tempted just to leave it to see how it plays out.
I'm going to be mouthing help.
He's. I can't quite see what he's mouthing.
He hasn't even offered them a drink.
So while this hand is kind of here and stroking the back of your head, you can see that it's all like, literally the warts and stuff that are on the arm start to look like pop and ooze right by your face, pus and stuff.
Bet that smells nice.
And then suddenly she kind of grabs you from the back of the head and boom, she pulls you forward into the bars, and while she's got you there with her other arm, her other hand, she puts it in under the bars and kind of from your bottom of your rib cage up, just digs her hand in and rakes it all across your rib cage.
Okay, Yelena's going to shout, "Oi, oi, consent!" Did he want that? I don't think so.
I seriously wondered for a sec what she was going for.
Yes, so did I.
So 18 points of damage on that one, please.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think
your friend's got particularly good taste in women.
Tolkus, as you're kind of skulking round the edge.
His nickname's Sledge.
The other two hags, they see you. They say, "Oh, don't go too far, dear. We see you. Do you want to dance?" And straight away, they kind of both go side by side and just with weird, gangly, long-limbed speed, they race up to you and both attack you.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Tolkus says, "Enough talk!" And he pulls his axe from behind himself and raises it ready to attack.
Cool. Right. So we'll both...
On initiative.
We'll do it on initiative roll. We're going to see... They get a first attack and then you can retaliate. That is a miss. And a 24.
I'm afraid that misses.
Okay, so both of them just try to rake you several times, and each time you're either stepping back or just manage to dodge out their way. You can now retaliate.
Oh.
Croydon nightclub.
Oh. Well, yeah, they're standing next to each other in front of me, are they?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to swipe them, which means I roll one attack, and if it hits, they both take damage.
Oh.
And it's a 10 on the dice plus 20, which hits armor class 30.
Yep, not a problem there.
And they're going to take 8, 12, 21, 25.
Oh dear.
36 points of damage each.
Each? Bloody hell.
As the axe comes down with its frosted blade, and I just do a side swipe straight through both of them, sort of thing, clipping their chests. Is that sexist? No, that's not sexist.
It's anatomically correct.
Yeah. Actually, it might be a bit. If they're 7 foot tall, no, I'll probably swipe their bellies because they're a little bit taller than me.
Okay, yeah. Don't try and do as much damage as you can with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you slice through, almost gutting them. You got this bile and stuff, and bits and body parts just kind of shoot out of their stomachs. Yes, ouchie. I still thinking of Fools and Horses.
Yeah. So, what was it? Play it cool, trigger. Play it cool.
Black cool, trigger. Black cool. There we go. Yeah. So, Harrison, you're stuck in there getting raped. Tolkien,
is that right?
That is raped, not the other word.
Raped. Tolkien, you're there. You're into combat. So, everyone else, what would you like to do?
I've got something.
And we are in Rupp first. Rupp followed by Mordecai.
Okay. Right. I'm going to look at this and summon a spiritual guardian. Which is going to be in a slightly more, it might be a little bit bad, but a slightly more handsome version, slightly taller, slightly more muscular version of Harrison.
I don't think you can get much more muscular and.
Well, it is amazingly, and it appears beside Harrison, just by the cage, and just goes, "Hello there, sweetie. You want me dead?"
That's a better Harrison than Harrison.
You'd like a bit of rough and tumble, wouldn't you? And just punches.
Okay, so this Harrison just appears and takes a swing. Go for it. Or is it? Do I have? Is it?
So no, it's like it's another thing.
Yep.
It can use. So I use my actions to control it.
Yep.
But like it does damage and can protect Harrison on his turn. It can take damage for him. So yeah, I'm going to.
That's cool.
I'm going to take.
It's a new take on hitting on someone, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So that.
Well, he is getting raped.
Raked.
Yeah.
With a K.
Yeah. That is 30 to hit.
Yep, that hits. Well done.
And that's 12. Sorry, 12 plus 16 points of damage
16.
as it punches her across the face.
Nice.
And then gets in between Harrison and
wedges his way in.
Wedges his way in between the bars of the cage, and just it goes like this.
Yep. Shimmy in. Just puts his arm on and leans over.
Yeah. Literally does the shimmy shake.
Yeah, shimmy shake.
Brilliant.
I'm now thinking, is there any chance we can make a Fools and Horses RPG?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Pre-gen characters, see how far you get. There you go.
This is my god's spiritual guardian, by the way, at the moment. So that's just saying.
Right.
Okay. Give Harrison a god complex.
Mordecai followed by Elias, please.
So just look at the map. So while Harrison's gone up, the two Harrisons, and is there, I sort of sneak around behind the cage, keeping him and the hag and kind of in a line so I can kind of get there all quiet like, and I pull a dagger and I just come up from behind and I just put the knife in, so to speak.
Yeah. With the one that the two Harrisons are attacking, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I like to,
Okay, so you got roll to hit first.
That's a 5 plus 17.
So 22.
22, sorry.
22 misses. So your first hit misses. But you
fantastic!
You have 3 actions in total. One you've used to move. The second one you've used to attack. You have one more action.
All right. I sort of I roll out of the way. I slide off. I think I've got a thing that tries to protect me against opportunity attacks.
Mobility, yeah.
Yeah. So I sort of
move back out of range.
Sneak off again.
Okay.
Sneaky.
I've distracted her.
She definitely knows you're there. Elias, followed by Yelena.
So I'm gonna pull out all the stops here. These creatures look pretty nasty, so they've obviously taken a liking to Harrison. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. And help out Tolkus, who's currently trying to fend off 2 of these hags. So I'm going to cast a spell called Transmute Rock to Mud. And I'm going to turn the ceiling of this cave into mud and rain it down upon their heads. So I can turn 2 adjacent 10-foot squares to mud. So I'll be going for the 2 squares above their head, then the 2 squares next, the 2 squares next, 2 squares next up to the cauldron. So it'll be like that cube. I can't draw on the screen, unfortunately. Yeah. So that it doesn't hit Tolkus, but hits him. So if you can make me a reflex saving throw, please.
It's the reflex.
So
25.
Is a fail.
Oh, shit.
That's high.
Yeah.
They both take 27 points of damage. As basically, the ceiling turns to mud. That stone rains down. So now the centre area of that room, because when it hits, it splashes and spreads out a 10-foot further, is now difficult terrain. So everyone takes, I think it's a -10 on their speed. Okay. Or you can try and move through it with a DC 10.
We've got the mud fighting. This is the mud wrestling. This is really turning into the nightclub scene, isn't it?
This is it. Yeah.
So we have, as you say, the roof turns to liquid and just pours down on them. It does not engulf them. It does do damage as it's kind of hampering their movement and crashing down on them. But once it stops, they kind of start to recover. One of them, the one at the north one, looks over to you and says, in your general direction, it's definitely one of... Who is it? One of you? And the other one is keeping her eyes on Tolkus.
I'll just...
Now you know... that's fine.
You! The little blue imp, okay.
Yelena, you'll go.
I will put my attention on the one attacking Harrison.
Okay.
And I will point my staff at it. And the evil one. And
his
I will
girlfriend.
You have to carefully avoid the shimmies.
I will carefully avoid the shimmying. I drop the dice and cast acid arrow at it.
Okay.
Does a 26 hit? 27, sorry.
27 does hit.
Perfect. That will be 14 points of acid damage.
Well done. Okay.
And then 1d6 persistent.
Okay.
Nice.
You have to remind me on that one. So the arrow shoots through the bars in the cave, definitely dodging everyone who's in front of you at the moment. You've got Mordecai, the twin Harrisons, and hitting
the
hag.
He said no, you'll have to leave him alone now.
Who invited you to this party? But I do like your friends, yeah.
Well, it seems like they're not so keen on you, so would you kindly back off?
No!
The spirit guardian says, I'm keen.
I'm very confused by you right now, but you lot can bugger off.
With my go, we're at the top of the round. The one attacking Harrison will attack again. Oh, that's got to be a miss. Let me check. I'm 19. He's going to miss Harrison.
That's correct.
Right. So he tries to get you again. The other Harrison kind of bravely steps in front, which is something the other Harrison would have never have done.
I would have done. Of course I would.
Hag number 3, which is attacking Tolkus. Is a 32.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, so we're going to roll for damage. Again, all they've got really is their claws.
Yep.
And that is 8, 16, 17, 18 points of damage.
Oh, you couldn't have made it 20. That would have bloody been nice and round.
But with that, she kind of rakes you down your arms, but at the end, she gets down to your elbow. She grabs hold of it and pulls herself physically out of the mud, and she kind of like plops out as she does so. Again, being all kind of gangly and wearing nothing and just being meat and bone. She pulls up so her feet land on your hips, and she's just literally hanging off of you like.
Oh, lovely.
And then the other one is taking a liking to Elias, and that is also a 30. There's a 32.
That's enough to hit, so I'm going to use my reaction to try and phase out. Which I fail.
Okay, that's fine. I actually did that wrong anyway. It is a. You need to do a dexterity check for me. She casts a spell in your direction.
Okay, what spell she cast? So she's staying where she is.
She's going to stay where she is, and you see her kind of. She's still got her feet kind of ankle deep in mud, and she just sees you. She just starts to kind of put her hands, and you see these sparkles shoot in your direction but fly past you. So you need to do a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yep, reflex save.
Yeah, sorry, reflex.
That is a 25.
Okay. You do succeed as the earth around you and from the wall behind you and the kind of partition in front of you, you see the earth fly out and start to kind of wrap around you. Luckily, you managed to get out in time before it kind of conceals you, puts you up into a nice little sausage roll.
Very specific.
Okay. Top of the round. Harrison, followed by Tolkus.
So I'm pretty much stuck, unless I'm going to try and rattle the cage that I'm in to see if I can release myself from it, to see if there's any way of getting out. Frantically shaking and looking at everyone as I'm trying to escape from this cage.
Athletics check.
Athletics chest.
Athletic chest, yes, I do have that. 15 plus 16, 31.
Yeah. You'd be like, it's feels like such a lightweight cave that you put all your muscle into it. You bend at the knees, you lift with your legs. I know how this works. And you try and lift this cage off of you, but for some reason it does not budge. Probably because it's made of magic.
Yes, I didn't anticipate that, but I would probably have guessed that. So, yeah, I'm going to try with all my might to try and lift it, and then I'm going to just give up and just say. But what I will do, I do see that hag still nearby. I'm going to see if I can retrieve my from my glove of holding, whatever it is.
Storing.
Glove of storing, that's the one. And I'm going to attempt to throw it at the hag, but I noticed that Supreme Harrison is in front of me.
It's fine. He's incorporeal.
Okay, fine. I will attempt to throw it through Supreme Harrison. I'm going to call him that, and throw it at the hag. So it does a 37 hit.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so that's 2d4. So that is 4 plus 3, so 7 points of damage with that.
Okay.
And it returns straight to my hand as I do that. But what I'll do is I will attempt to do it for. Nope, that's it because I retrieved the from the glove. So.
Okay, so it sours off. It does hit. It is a successful hit. She just looks more annoyed at you than anything. Almost a little bit disappointed.
I'd be like, that's for trapping me, you hag.
Tolkus, followed by Rupp.
Right, Tolkus, she's still hanging onto my elbows, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got her feet is on your waist, and yet her hands are digging into your elbows. You can feel just like it's like they're bone, they're cold.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm going to attempt to basically kick her away from me with my foot. So, like, as she's hanging on like my elbows, and I put my axe like that, I'm going to try and put my foot, I guess, in her crotch and kick her.
Yeah.
Because if she's got her feet on me, so I'll do an athletics check for that. Do you think?
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 13 on the dice plus 19.
Yeah, that succeeds. That's fine.
Yeah. So and then she obviously flies to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll then just bring my axe up and hit her with it.
Okay.
With a power attack.
Okay.
And that hits an armor class of 29.
That hits, yeah.
Okay. She's going to take 6, 8, 6, 4, and 11. 6, 8, 6, 4, 11. Come on, maths people.
That is... Ooh, is it? No, it is. Okay, so you kick her off, you slam her back into the mud, and just swing around, and as the axe just embeds into it, she's split apart. She's done. So 1 down, 2 to go.
Can I reach the other one without moving? Because she was still in front of me, wasn't she? Because she cast a spell at Elias, didn't she?
Yep, she's
so
next to you.
I'll take the -5 hit for the second attack.
Yeah.
And I'll try and swing and hit her as well. In an upward motion because I've just, killed her friend. I'm going to try and sort of like do a almost back swing to hit her on the way up.
Yeah.
And that hits an armor class of not 29, 33.
Yep, that hits.
And this is a non-power attack one, so I don't get to roll.
Get ready, human calculators.
11, 10, 5, and 4.
30.
Yeah, that one's even deader.
Well done. So as the axe comes up, it literally cuts under her chin, up, and her face just falls away from the rest of her.
Classy.
And it's like frozen.
No.
And the face hits the floor and shatters.
It's a different version of Frozen to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Tolkus. Rupp followed by Mordecai.
Right, you see Rupp controlling his spirit guardian with the same moves. It's just mimicking Rupp at this point. So I'm gonna take 2 swipes at the hag with the spiritual guardian sustaining the spell.
Yep.
So you see Rupp just go punch the hag.
Punch the hag.
Does a I'm guessing it's a nat 19. So yeah, 36.
Yeah, easy.
And that is another 14 points of force damage.
Nice one, right?
Then, might not. That's a 9. 9 plus 17, 26.
An additional 26.
As in 26 to hit for the second attack.
Yes, that hits.
Oh, -5. Sorry, I haven't done
yeah,
this before.
So no.
21. Okay, doesn't hit. And then again. Do I take the -10? Probably not. I'm gonna, he's gonna start doing
Might as well start doing floss in a minute.
A bit of a shuffle and try and get in the way of her swipes at Harrison.
We've got the shimmy shakes, we've got the shuffles. What's next?
Okay,
exactly.
Mordecai, over to you. The last hag standing.
Yeah.
Here we go, the hag club.
Indeed. So this time I do an underhanded assault. So I step a little bit closer. So I'm just sort of I guess two squares away within throwing range. I figure, you know, those arms are really long. I'm just going to throw one of my daggers. I've got plenty now at the moment. So I do an underhanded assault, which is targets adjacent to one of my allies. I do a stealth check. And if I hit it, that's 12 plus 19 minus 2, 10, 29.
Yep.
And that gives me that lets me do a sneak attack.
Nice.
I'm a rogue. And so I take one of my daggers and I just target it out. And I use my hero coin to re-roll the natural one. I just give that back. Yep, there we go. I re-roll that one. And 12, that's better. So 29. So 29, I throw the dagger at her with a sneak attack as well, which I think is 2d6 from memory. I'll see that in a second.
It's 2d6 with a sneak attack damage. Yeah.
So that's it's a big 9 damage, but you know.
That's all you needed.
Yay.
So as you take that moment, you aim, you fire, and in perfect slow motion ability in all role playing games. You got dancing shimmy and Harrison there.
Yeah.
The real Harrison struggling to lift a cage of magic, and it just thunks into the back of the hag's head, and it just drops.
Mort needs to do the booty scooty as he's just done the last kill there.
For the black arrows! For the black arrows! Yeah, take that, hag!
Woohoo! Well done.
Is the cage suddenly disappeared at that
just
point?
As it goes in, bing, the cage, and you're like, oh!
You just tumble forward into the arms of the crew.
Very impressive.
I'll say, well, I think that went pretty well, actually.
Rather, we need to talk about your techniques with the ladies.
If you want, I can maybe show you what doesn't work.
My spirit guardian turns around and just goes, well, hello, handsome. Sorry I can't spend more time with you, but it's the glove out. And like
a Ace Rimmer.
Yeah, like a balloon that someone's let go from the base, just and just like goes off into a puff of smoke, violet smoke that just.
I thought he was going to turn around to him and do the like a glove.
Yeah.
Do you see Ace Ventura? Right. Okay. Well done. You've destroyed another room, but we're going to take a break right there because we'll have a chat with Ralph and learn all about Ardent Roleplay. We are going to take a quick 2-minute break, but that's for my players. I'll let you know that. Grab a drink, quick bio break. Get some more snacks. I'm going to have a snack as well. But for you watching, thank you for staying. I'm going to show you a quick trailer about what everything Ardent Roleplay is up to at the moment, what it all means. So if you think of any questions, stick it in chat, even when the trailer's going, and let us know what you want to know from Ralph. Okay? With me? Okay.
Yep.
Let's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello. Right, I'm still here. I'm just trying to eat a Twix. I don't get to go anywhere. I have to have all my stuff here. So, any questions? Stick them into live chat for us. Capital Q and your question. I'm just going to see who's with us at the moment. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying with us. Who we got? Brain Bee Studio, Sean Sunday. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're well. It's your morning at the moment because you're in Australia. Also, Ralph is in Australia, so it's his morning as well. Ryan, Session 0, represent. If you're there, if you can hear me, thank you very much. Always good. No, I never get a 2-minute break. Yeah, I've got a pipe and a bottle. If only. Oh, the DAT Network. Hello. I keep thinking it's the Date Network. I'm thinking it's the wrong channel. You need another one. DAT Network. Who is it? Who's watching? Shout out your name. Lovely to see you. Maguire review. Josh Maguire. How you doing, sir? We still need to have a catch up at some point. It has been manic this week. We have been talking to so many people. Hi, Ralph. Can you hear me? I'm trying to eat as well. Cool. I think that's the only issue with Twitch is we can say questions like, "Hi, Josh. How you doing?" You have to wait 10 seconds. Cool. Good to see. Anonymous. Fantastic. Who we got? Baron Snowhand, you're still here. Good lad. A Londoner. Chav Hunter. Chaxter 007. Are you British 007? Are you American? Are you Aussie? Are you expat? Let us know in the comments below. Cool. Rupp is back in the house.
Hello.
Just shouting out to people in chat. So if you want to do a shout out, you do want to shout out. Joint effort. Nice name. Graken. Maverick 2. Good to see you again. Mike Neville. Hello. Oxygen. Seversuit. Am I saying that one right? Seversuit. Silly Gnome 225. Why? I was talking about gnomes earlier. I don't know why. Oh, is that what we were calling about gnome tossing? You might have missed that bit. Suma999, the red soup. I know it now, you see. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. The red soup. Not their soup, or there be soup. Twitch details. It's got to be a bot, surely. Twitch details. You will never know. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, Ralph, are you still on mute?
No longer.
There we go. So, first, Steve's... Let me just check which moderators we've got going on. Joe is in the house. Joe and Steve, send over the questions for me, or feel free to just read them out. That's fine too. So, Ralph, tell us, for the people who don't know, they just literally seen the Ardent Roleplay trailer, who you are, what you do, where you are, and what is it all about? Just basically everything.
Everything.
Let's go.
Absolutely. No worries. So, hey, my name's Ralph. I'm CEO of a company called Audacious, and we've got an augmented reality platform that we made that our flagship product is called Ardent Roleplay. You can download it now for free on your favorite app stores. What it does is that in role-playing games, the GM can show players terrain models, scenery, creatures, NPCs, and props that you might use just like you'd use other, terrain models, scenery, creatures, NPCs, props, to make the game more immersive, more engaging, helps people really get that sense of what's happening in the game world. It's effectively done with. So let me just reach over. I meant to have that closer. So we've got some absolutely beautiful cards. Let me do it that way. Cards that are used as the augmented reality markers, and then you point your phone at the card. There you go. Point your phone at the card, and we're using the mobile phone based AR to then pop up models, and you're exploring it through the lens of your phone. And you might have noticed from my accent, which is still settling in, that you might have noticed from my name, I'm German, but we're in Brisbane, Australia. So we're an Australian company from up here, and that's the kind of thing. I did see there was a question about what inspired us to go with augmented reality, so I might just fold that into the answer here. So I've got a PhD in computer science. I used to teach into multimedia and interaction design and distributed systems integration, a whole bunch of things. I also used to teach games design. And when I was head of a games design department, I was in the games design department, I was teaching a sort of late project course for students, and I used to always throw in an advanced technology as part of that. And one semester, it was augmented reality. So I got the students to play with that while they were doing other things around commercialization and other kind of important issues when you become a game dev. And I'm in a role-playing game group as well. So every second Friday night we get together and we're playing with it. And I thought, you know what, this could work to make scenery and terrain and all those really cool models so much more affordable. Because as much as I'd love to spend all of my money on Dwarven Forge, it's just not going to happen. There's things like mortgages and stuff. This terrain also needs to get looked after. So anyway, that was sort of the idea at the time, and I've got a software company, and a couple of years later, we were kind of toying with that idea again, and went, let's actually get this thing done. In fact, a couple of my students from that class had come to me to help them with commercializing a card game that they were making, and I said, sure, but quid pro quo, like I'll help you with that, and let's get that idea that I came up with when we were doing the AR. Let's get that happening. And then there was a side project, and then a couple of years later, it became a main project because we thought, you know what, this should exist, basically. And I think the really cool thing to me is it makes scenery and terrain affordable. What we saw in the last year is the great benefit that we could have these kinds of remote games, and all the players can still get that 3D models on the table experience, because you can be anywhere in the world and I can show you 3D models and terrain and creatures and stuff. But we also pretty quickly realized that the really, really great benefit was that I can show every player what their character sees. I can show every player what only their character sees. So as a rogue, I like to play the rogue. I would go into a room and I would see the traps that are there as if the room had been gone over by Oc Health and Safety. Everything's effectively painted pink. Nobody else sees it. So it's not a question of Dave saying, "Oh, Mort, you've done really well and you've noticed all these traps," and then saying, "Right, so Yelena, there's an amulet on the table. What do you do?" And you're like, "Well, I know that it's trapped, so I'm not going to go over." All that metagaming stuff kind of goes because they don't know, they haven't seen it. Meanwhile, the magic user sees the cursed aura around things, around the treasure, which the rogue is eyeing off, and the rogue has no idea. Or you can hand a note around. We've got sort of props that are like, nice. I'm looking at it, and it's like a big letter. And it's just ipsum lorem to me. It's literally ipsum lorem. Can't read a thing, and you hand it to someone who speaks undercommon, or actually I do speak undercommon. So they hand it to me and I speak undercommon, and to me it's just English. I'm like, oh right, yeah, we need to. I see what their plans are. It really then gets players immersed in the reality of their character. They feel they have those proficiencies and all that stuff. And that's I think it was when we were playing with it and we realized, oh my God, I can do that. That's when we really decided to run with it and go with it and say, this has to be out there. This has to be a thing.
So right now,
when you're sitting around the table, it enhances stuff. You can still play with your existing terrain and just add, augmented reality to that. Sorry, Dave.
Right now, is it it's not is it a beta product per se? Is it still kind of constantly growing with new components you're adding into it?
Yeah, so it's out, it's live, it's completely usable now. So it's not a beta at all. Mm-hmm. You can download it right now and play it. And in fact, just last night we released our first adventure on Drive-Thru RPG, the Necromancer of Naminar, where you can download the adventure and you can go into the app, into the mobile app, and download what we call an adventure bundle. So you basically copy a pre-made campaign into your list of campaigns that then has all the models and NPCs and creatures and stuff all there. So it's basically like a digital version of Beatles and Grimms, and to some degree, but it's kind of like, if WizKids made boxed sets for adventures with everything in it, all the terrain, all the models, and all that stuff that's there.
Is it a way that people can? So you've got this kind of pre-detailed story, and new customers, new people picking it up right now, they'll get all the digital toys, all the landscapes for them to create their own story with. Are you going to continue to develop new stories, or can that DM create a story and then pass it to you, so you can have here's general public stories and adventures?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess taking that step back, technically there's a mobile app which the GM uses to turn on models for players, and the same app for the player interface players use to look at the models. And in fact, and that's something you see. We also have a regular stream that runs on Saturdays Brisbane time, so sort of Fridays, I guess, if it's live. But we're on Twitch, on ROLEPLAY, and you can watch the replays. We also have a thing that stream audiences can also kind of tap in and see the models, so your audiences can see things. Then there's a desktop app, and the game master in the desktop app basically says, hey, cool, I start a new campaign, and then can browse through all the models that we have, and we release new models every month. Take a model, go, cool, I'm going to make an encounter around that. There's a bunch of things that you can turn on and off. So if there's we've got a tavern model and you've got different patrons, you could have nobody in there at all. You walk into an empty tavern, and then you could kind of then have a state change of that, where then suddenly it fills in and more people show up. There's a fireplace, you could have the fire going, not going, and all those things. And so you basically go, that encounter's cool, I'm going to set up this encounter for my players. We have what we call approach models for some of the terrain, which is a view of that scenery, but from further away, so not to normal mini scale. Like, so you're approaching the tavern, so you see it from outside, and then you get close, so now you're properly standing there. It's sort of proper mini scale, and you might, if you've got a party of players, one player says, I'm going to get in close. That player now sees it up front. The others are still seeing it in the distance. Then they all get there. One player says, I go inside. Great. So that player, the roofs come off, the doors open. They can now see what's happening, inside, look on down. The rest of the players can't see a thing still. They're still outside. And so you've got these different states. And then players can do their proficiency tests. We can then reveal different things to players. You can also add extra text. So I like the idea of a partial success and a full success for my players. So, if you did well, you might notice something, but if you did really well, you understand it. So I'll show you the thing that's there, and then I'll give you some extra text to explain it to you as well.
So that was one of the things I liked when for everyone who's watching. me and Ralph, and also Sean Sunday, who's in live chat now. He's Brain Beast Studios. So we've all been chatting since before Christmas. And when they first showed me what it was, straight away I went into, this is the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars playing monster chess, 3D chess, with all those monsters doing different things. That was what my head was. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. And then when they showed me interaction, so you could create your own player. Your own player has an avatar, just like a computer game. And then they're on their, because they're on their cards, you put their card down, but the entire party can then appear. And then you have, okay, here's a pathway that leads into the forest. You literally see the green grass and the pathway and then the forest ahead. And you can travel to it. And that was one of the best things that I could see. It was just amazing. And then the other thing I really liked was when you find a magic item, it's a card or an activation code, and you can literally have that magic item floating in front of you. You can turn it around. You can, zoom in, zoom out. You can look at what this, medallion with a glowing gem, what it actually looked like, and how the magic might radiate around that. And that was incredible. I had another question actually, which I was thinking of, is with all of this on there. Right now, if you think about role-playing games or even D&D, there's a big push for one-player games. So if you had a story built in, you could easily just play this. Can you play it yourself? Can the encounters be? Are they smart enough, or is it dice roll? I roll for to hit. I roll the monsters to hit, and then as long as I don't cheat, I can win. Yeah. I can potentially be a one-man hero and go through these adventures on my own.
Yeah, we've been playing a little bit with making something that's effectively like a choose your own adventure type web form. Where you can go, cool, now click here, and it shows you the card on the screen. I can point my phone and I can really explore all the scenery and see all the stuff and go, cool. And then I kind of click, I roll and I go, yeah, I did that. And then it takes you through. There's a few little tweaks we need to do to make that work. But yeah, absolutely. I think there's a bit of kind of custom code that we'd need to add for if it's just you and the cards to kind of do stuff with. So you still need something that kind of, just maps out the narrative, I guess, in that sense. But it is something that we're absolutely looking at. And certainly, it just makes it's kind of fun. It's really neat in that sense. And I think the props, like you say, the props are particularly cool. Different groups play in different ways. And we found that what's kind of really nice about it as well, and these are sort of all these unintended consequences, right? The GM can send messages to players or give them more information, and it doesn't interfere at all because everybody's looking at stuff, right? So if you've seen something extra, nobody knows you've seen something extra. So when you get new players joining a group, the kind of onboarding of getting them up is really important. And so as a GM, I can send them, don't forget you learned about that earlier, all these things. So I can give them a bit of extra information just to help them along until they kind of have found their groove, without others even knowing that I'm doing it, without them feeling like, oh God, the noob's going to get helped all the time and everybody knows it or anything like that. And without reminding the players who should know better because they should have taken notes of stuff. Definitely. So, if they've forgotten, that's their bad, right? But the new player shouldn't, so it's really nice in helping that sense. And it just helps structure things for new GMs as well.
Can you also do, so again, I'm thinking about how I can run that in real time. So I can write out my story, my narrative, put everything there. Can I then go, you know what, the heroes, as usual, they're killing everything. And as we've just seen, you've got a room full of hags. You go into this chamber, hags, bubbling cauldron, and I go, you know what, I'm going to throw in another hag. Can I do that on the fly while my players are in there?
So if you're doing it, so you've got cards, you can basically set up, you could set the hags up on separate cards.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom.
That way you can kind of move them around, right? If you kind of prep going, I just want a couple of extra monsters just in case.
Yeah.
You know, you could just throw an extra hag onto a card and it's just there. You know, if you're playing and you've got a dragon, you go, you know, another 8 dragons would be really cool. Just throw them on cards. You can also do that kind of fun thing of saying like, look, you know, pick a card, any card.
Yep.
It's like, cool, put it down, turn it on for the players, and they go, great, what did I just pick? You know, what just crawled out of that cave? You know,
there was a D&D game. I know Jeff and Steve will know this one. Neverwinter Nights. And what's that? 10, 15, 20 years ago? 90s?
Yeah, years ago.
Well,
I played it early 2000. I remember playing it in 2003 in Italy. So yeah, it's getting for 20 years ago.
So Neverwinter Nights was, you know, taking you from the isometric view, but more zoomed in. So we had Baldur's Gate, you know, 1, 2, and 3, and then we had 1 and 2. And then we had Neverwinter Nights. But Neverwinter Nights also had the DM layer where you could create your own landscapes and stories. You could have a dark forest. You had lightning in the sky, all the sound effects, and then as your player. So when you launch the game with your players, they can come in. You can go spawn spider, and just have this whole. You could do overkill, which is probably what it deteriorated to anyway.
Yeah.
But I love the idea because I used to love just going in and visualizing what I wanted to create in a as much of a physical form as I could, a 3-dimensional space.
And I think so. One thing is, you know, to be really clear. So Ardent Roleplay is not a game, right? You know, it's models. It's a digital model library. It's the keys to the toy shop, and we're really trying to avoid that it becomes kind of people sitting around playing a computer game on the table as well. So, you know, it's very much we're supporting people playing RPGs. You know, there's a dice roller in it because it's kind of, you know, easy, but you know, you roll your dice, you know, the GM controls stuff and it just helps you visualize that more. And particularly there are people who find it very difficult to kind of visualize the scenery and stuff as well. But from a GM creator perspective, when you're writing stuff, I think just having that kind of like, right, where do we go next? You know, that thing's really cool. We have this magician's tower, and it's kind of a broken magician's tower. Every floor is kind of cracked and rotate. You know, they're spinning in space.
Cool.
So there's, you know, all these cool things that you just can't do. You know, a ship on the table, you know, bobbing because there's waves and stuff and storm and rain coming down, you know, in the middle of the table, just stuff like that, where you go, you look at it and you go, I could imagine really cool stuff happening here. So it just helps you kind of, I think, structure that way. So you set up these encounters, and then for a session, you're just allocating them to cards. So just to make sure as well, you're not buying new cards every month to get more things. This isn't a collectible card, you know, kind of game. And the nice thing there too is that you can then, you know, sometimes you can put the dragon on the dragon card and it's just obvious you've put it down and everybody's like, oh God. Or you might put the dragon on a wildfire card and just go, oh, something's been setting fire to the neighborhood, but we don't know what it is. And at some point, that's probably the card where we find out, you know, and you've got...
You mentioned I was going to say, you mentioned the cards. And there's also, if you go to the Ardent website, you can download free to print as well. So there's a section there, which is what the ones that I've got, just so you can kind of test it and see how good this thing is. If people buy the card set, how many cards? Is it like a monster set? How many cards are in there?
Yeah, so our high fantasy deck is 75 cards, and I'm going to throw some quick links on. So for our Aussie. For the Australian followers and readers, there's a link to Meeples and Dragons, which is a game store in Australia that they've got our cards locally. And for the rest of the world, you can get them through Drive-Thru RPG. Mm-hmm. And I was sending through a discount link. We've got a Valentine's Day sale on at the moment where we're making them half price. So
cool.
Folk can look at those and get the deck. So and that's got 75 cards which is 5 suits. There's an ocean suit, a forest suit, dungeon suit, a city suit, and another one Which I can't believe I've forest, dungeon, city, mountain, and a mountain suit.
I love the fact that it works both around, because in the UK we're still in lockdown, the schools are closed, but the idea of having something that I can play online just like this, we could put up on screen, we can all see that thing physically in our own homes, and share that with an audience, but also the fact when we go back to our tables, we can still have that. If you've got an iPad, if you've got a phone, and whoop, that pops a magical item. I love that. One of the things with the cards, which was another thought, is I've seen lots of board games, lots of Kickstarters at the moment that are offering a kind of a neoprene mat, and the card shapes are already pre-laid out. Is that something else that could be a product for you to help DMs or players lay out their cards? I mean, you can just put them on the table, but there's an extra product just to have a mat.
Yeah, no, exactly, absolutely. We sort of talked about that. It's certainly useful because the scale means that we've got a pretty consistent scale of terrain. So by having a clear place where you put it means that a room joining to the next room would be much easier for you to really quickly lay down, because you can look at a whole bunch of cards at the same time.
Yeah.
So I can lay down the front of the tavern, and you look at it, and then I lay down another card and it's the storeroom, and then I lay down another card and it's the office, and you can basically, suddenly you've got a whole table full of rooms in 3D that you're exploring with people moving around and sort of stuff that way. So yeah, having something that just helps you where to place them a little bit better is a kind of good idea. It's we've talked about it, of having a card, of having a table mat that actually has the image markers actually already on it as well as a different thing. So there's some stuff that we have played with. I think at the moment there's more people not playing face to face than there are, unfortunately. So we're sort of really focusing on that kind of online play, working with virtual tabletop folk. We're talking with Till from Dungeon Fog and a few others, and really working how we can kind of integrate into that more. And I think that then bringing that tabletop game stuff alive for players more as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's coming. Are you able to? I mean, you just mentioned Till from Dungeon Fog, who we both know. Yeah.
So can I just jump in?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
I mean, as we have to do here, this is where it gets a bit clunky for us. Obviously, when we're streaming, is that Dave's changing to another screen that we also use for the map. Then we're throwing up a card for the picture. Having something interfacing with Dungeon Fog that allows me as the token person to put a token on the corner map that the viewers can just scan with their phone and they see the creature that we're actually fighting. Just makes the whole streaming bit so much easier.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, it's just hit the thing, get the card up. There's a card for people to look at and they can see it and explore it. And if they've got, the print and play or a deck of cards at home, they can go, it's that card, and they can play it, place it out and really explore it that way as well. Yeah.
I was asking, in terms of Till and Dungeon Fog, what's the goal for this year, 2021? We've just had a very strange 2020. What's 2021?
Yeah, I'm going to be putting out a bit of a roadmap email, and then probably in the next 2 weeks for the year, so a year in review and a year ahead as well. So if you, I should say, if you're watching and you haven't downloaded the app, download the app, sign in. It's all free to download and free to sign in. And once you do that, then your email will be on the mailing list as well, and we send you those updates. I think our big focus this year is really on more pre-written adventures for people, so they can kind of get in and just go, hey, that adventure's cool, and all the models and stuff are ready, so I don't have to configure my own, but you can kind of copy that across and then tune it to yourself. The running joke that you have, that you in every session you want to have an untitled goose or or something coming up or things along those lines. that's I guess one of the things. We've got a big push this year. Last year we signed a license with Chaosium for Call of Cthulhu content, and we had the Haunting, which is their kind of classic getting started kind of adventure, and we've got all the models already in the app for people to play the Haunting. So this year we're going to be releasing more Call of Cthulhu content for other adventures and for just doing your own stuff, as well as the high fantasy stuff that we're doing.
Cool.
So I think really it's our push at the moment is to really make it more accessible and get people to kind of be able to get started more easily. We're doing a little bit of a UX usability test of a few aspects of it that we're probably still a bit clunky as with all software. How old is Windows?
Yeah, yep.
Sometimes they're still like, I could polish that a bit more. And then we're in discussions with other companies about licenses. So hopefully we'll start rolling out some other licensed content this year as well.
Fantastic. Sorry, to let everyone know, we also RALF has been very generous, and we are going to be doing a giveaway. Do you want to explain what the giveaway is?
Yes, absolutely. So the other part of the kind of the thing is that we're not just selling the cards. So for you to get access to the models as a GM, it's at the moment a subscription model. We're going to be bringing in some purchasing as well, so you can just buy the models you want. But at the moment, the approach really is subscription because it's just much more accessible for players to get access to everything. So a subscription is for just a straight GM subscription is $15 a month, and that gives you access to literally hundreds of assets that you can use in whatever way. And everything new that we release while you're subscribed gets added to your collection. So even if you unsubscribe, the stuff that got added while you were subscribed, you can still keep using. So we're giving away a bunch of subscriptions, so GM subscriptions, so 3-month subscriptions for people to kind of really play with and expand. So there's if you sign up, there's a free month's trial, and so we're going to give away 3-month subscriptions. If you like it and you trial it and you go cool, and then you sign up for your own subscription, you're going to get another month at the end. So it's effectively 4 free months, and then move forward. And we've also got what we call the GM Pro subscription, which is basically there's a GM subscription, there are player subscriptions. Players don't need to subscribe to play, but if they do subscribe, they get access to all of the character models for their characters as it is, if you just play normally, there's a couple of, there's a bunch of free characters that you can play with, and then other character models that you can go, oh, that's cool, but I'm not a subscriber. Well, maybe I should. And then there's the GM Pro subscription, where if your GM has the GM Pro subscription, all the players can use all the characters and stuff as they want for the games with that GM. So what we're going to give away is 3 GM Pro subscriptions, 3-month GM Pro subscriptions. In fact, why don't we make it 6 months? We're going to give away 3 6-month GM Pro subscriptions.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
let's do that.
That's generous.
And all you'll need to do is basically, you'll give them away, and then if the winners email me message me, we'll set those up.
Is we pick a magic word, we put it into chat, we randomly select the winners, and then basically the moderators will collect their name and email address. I will send them over to you, and then you can contact them directly.
Perfect. Excellent.
Done. So this you heard it from the man. You get 6 months full subscription free. That's what I heard. 6 months of playing with a new toy. This is good. And I'm really looking forward to having a go on this as well. Me and Steve have been talking about it quite a lot, and I want to just. It's weird. I know it's not a game, but it just harks back to kind of creating in that digital environment, and I want to it's basically digital kind of battlefields and magic items, and then saying to people, here it is, and look at it, and just being able to see them.
I can describe it, and you can watch the video. Join our Facebook page. We have a lot of videos, and our YouTube channel, and watch our Twitch. But until you download it and actually have a look at a card on the print and play cards.
How big are the cards? They're tarot size, aren't they?
Yeah, they're tarot size. That's right. So they're a nice, and they feel good. And if you've got like your card on your hand, and then you look down and a creature pops up like a rat or something is sitting in your hand, just that impact is just huge. So, and it's very difficult to really show.
Steve, have you got a word ready? If not, should we use Ardent?
Let's use Ardent. Because I don't have a word ready. So Ardent it is.
So this is !Ardent when Steve says to go. And you mentioned the like the cards and the artwork. Who designed that artwork? Because it's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. So we've got two artists that we've worked with. Our main one, our in-house Ardent, our Ardent artist. Lauren has done most of the work.
Lauren was the one who did the fairy platypus.
Yes, that's right. Yes. She did the flare. Yes, the fairy platypus for Sean as well.
It's
exactly,
really nice,
exactly. And then we've got another artist who has done some work for us in the past. It's been a little while since she has.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here actually over in the UK, terribly, whose name has just escaped me.
And get back to me are you looking to do more collaborations? Are you looking for writers, designers all around the world? Are you just looking in Australia? Or what's the next step in that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. We're Kit was the other artist. So I knew it came to me. We're really kind of looking to work with creators who want to basically say, cool, I want to look at the models you have, and then write adventures around those, because that just makes it kind of really engaging, and that's really around the world, and we're system agnostic from that perspective, right? So we have, as I said, we've got the high fantasy genre, so classic fantasy type models, and it doesn't matter whether you're playing, if you're German and you're playing Das Schwarze Auge, the Dark Eye, or you're playing Pathfinder, or you're playing D&D, or you're playing any of the other fantastic RPGs. And then we're doing, like I said, Call of Cthulhu at the moment, really focusing on the sort of classic 1920s kind of models. And then we're looking obviously at other genres as well. We've got a few demos in other genres that are really cool. But anyway, some of that stuff will come out. Will come out later as well. Yeah.
All right, Steve. We are going to wrap up. This is it. Last 10 seconds. Well, I shouldn't say 10 seconds. It could take 10 seconds. 20 seconds to get your last entries in. Exclamation.
Somebody else asked what the funniest moment while playing was. I say really early on in our group, while we get the last few in. One of our band, a friend of mine, had spent ages early in the campaign to save up to get full plate armor, making him completely overpowered in terms of defense, as you imagine. And then the next session, we encountered a rust monster.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. And Rust Monster in some ways actually one of my more favorite monsters as well. There was that question too, part of the and we have a really cool Rust Monster, and when that sits on your hand and it scuttles around, and we've got some audio this year. Hopefully we will be bringing some audio in. We've got some really great Rust Monster.
Why would you do that to players? Why that monster in particular?
I was a player on that one. Exactly. I was not the DM on that one, so that's why it was particularly funny for me.
Yeah, the Rust Monster is always a fan favorite. That was good. Right, we are going to pull a winner. Let's go, Steve. Pull the one-arm bandit. Spin the wheel. Push the button.
It's Nevermore. Never win nothing.
Never win nothing, nevermore.
Yeah, I never win nothing. That's the third time. Mike.
Mike congratulations, Nevermore.
Mike, whose armor also disintegrated in our Storm King's Thunder campaign.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Nice.
And
you're pushing.
Right, so we're giving away 3. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that was the first one. So we're going to roll it again.
Well done, Mike. Here we go.
Vada Tarumba.
Vada Tarumba.
Second winner.
Awesome.
You are the second winner. Vada,
And then
Vada Tarumba.
the last one is Anonymous 75. Congratulations.
Well done.
Well done.
Anonymous in Sydney.
In Australia.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Aussie. Fantastic.
Cool. Well done.
So yeah,
Well
congratulations. If you can all whisper me your details, please, and I'll need your email addresses and names, and I'll pass them on to Ralph, and then Ralph will be in touch, as we said. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was really generous. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you very much, Ralph. That was superb. Right. So, back to the story then. Let's see how far we get. You've just killed 3 hags. And are kind of, your feet are getting a bit soggy at the moment with all the shit that's in this cavern. What do you wish to do?
Harrison's going to be brushing himself off and thanks for the assist, guys. I think I handled it very well up until I was put in this cage, that cage. So.
Is that how every encounter with women goes for you?
No. I believe that I've been able to at least charm, the odd lady. This seems the exception. So.
I don't believe you, but you keep telling yourself that.
I think she seemed very into you, actually, brother.
Yes, well, it's...
Especially her nails.
We share the same looks, of course,
Don't worry, someday he'll settle down. Right, Harrison?
Yes, of course.
So this is a dead end cave, basically.
We haven't... Should we do a quick search of this cave? Not that I really want to, because there's piles of shit on the floor, but, maybe search the hags, see if they've got anything on them.
Yep. Is that what everyone wants to do?
I want to cast Acid Splash on the cauldron on the opposite side to everyone until there's a hole in the bottom.
Okay.
Just because it doesn't smell bad enough in here already.
I just want to just get rid of it.
While everyone is kind of searching the bodies, doing everything else, Yelena, you go over to the rear side of the cauldron and just until it kind of melts through. It does. It successfully melts through the bottom, a hole into the bottom of the cauldron, and slowly the contents just kind of ooze out. Most of it is liquid, foul-smelling green stuff. You step well away, and all the stuff that can't go through the hole is left behind. It all drains out, and you see all kinds of bones and skulls, all different shapes, like kobold skulls, dwarven, human, even halfling skulls in there. All kinds of bones which has just been boiled clean.
Making stock.
Meh.
I bet some of my colleagues are in there glad we got rid of those hags.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend looking in there. It's not nice.
Yeah. From the bones that you find, there's not enough parts in there to make a hole. So there's a hand, there's a foot. Most of them are skulls.
Okay.
What would everybody else like?
Nothing else to kill in here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll tick that one off as a positive and see what else lies around up here.
Okay.
Well, hopefully we might find some more black arrows alive.
Ah, that'd be great.
So you it's basically heading back down to the tunnel you was at, going back to the crossroads. You can go north.
Okay. Let's head north.
Yeah.
Okay, so the north tunnel continues only for about 40-50 foot before you get to a Y junction. If you go left, it goes up to a huge long flight of stairs, at least 100 foot into the distance. and you can see what appears to be flickers of light. A typical kind of torch is up in that area. To the right, it seems to curve around a corner and just goes into darkness for as far as you can see.
Head towards the light.
Yeah.
Always a good sign.
Can we hear anything at all?
Stay away from the light,
if you do
Caroline.
a perception check for me, yeah.
Stop it, it's so beautiful.
That is a 21 in total.
Which from anywhere, or just you want to listen more?
No, specifically for where the lights
that's
are.
really effective.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I'll get my ear trumpet out and use that. And I have an ear trumpet.
Okay, from up towards the stairs, you can't hear anything. As far as you're concerned, there's the wind, the draft. From the right hand side, it's very, very distant. It could be sounds of talking, potentially like thuds, maybe doors closing, that kind of thing.
Okay, and that was the way that was lit as well, was it?
No, the way that's lit is up the stairs.
Okay, which is
There's
silent.
light coming from the far reaches of the top of the stairs.
Okay, so that way where the light is, I can't hear anything. But over here where it's dark, I can hear what maybe sounds like talking, but some thumps, maybe some doors being banged. I don't know. It's difficult to make out, but that's coming from that way. But maybe because these are mines, maybe what I'm hearing is the sounds of the mines coming through some vents or something.
Could be.
Light or dark.
We had a captain who I mean, he was a bit of an idiot and he's dead now, of course. But he used to say, like, if we're in a place like this, there's 6 of us. Why don't we just go 2 each?
Ooh. No. No, splitting the party up is never a good
why he's
idea.
no longer with us.
Yeah.
Our
Probably
party
why
used to
he's dead.
consist of 12 people. Can you guess what happened to the rest?
They're still trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Everyone's hesitant. Everyone's like, we don't know where we're gonna go.
Rap confidently strides towards the light.
Hey!
What's the light?
I'm still a bit traumatized after the caging, so
I just
the
go.
disco scene.
Did you like to see yourself? A little bit.
I'll be honest. I was a little taken aback by how well this thing looked, and I'm glad you modelled it on me. Exactly the way I envisage myself. So thank you.
Well, yeah.
What have you done, Rob?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
He fanned the flames of his ego to a raging inferno.
I thought it would be funny, honestly. Was it funny, Elias?
It was funny. I can see the irony. Unfortunately, irony is completely lost on Harrison.
I mean, you're usually the barometer because these guys will find anything funny. But when you laugh, it's usually like.
It was funny that
Okay.
the tipping point was the shimmy shake.
Yeah. I like that.
It was a nice touch.
Oh, thank you.
I think what you've really done is maybe inspired Harrison to be more than Harrison is now. We could be seeing more meta Harrison in the future. I don't know.
Well, that's all I try to do. And hopefully you can be more of yourself and as well. And maybe we'll see some other party members in the future.
I just want to high five myself now. That's
He's a bit incorporeal and translucent, but yeah, maybe.
we can pretend.
So,
Just a bit worried about who he conjures up at night.
Well, this is the first time I've done it.
Oh, probably Harrison then. Yeah.
But would I be Big Spoon or Little Spoon? to Harrison.
Elaine is exiting this conversation and going up the stairs.
Tokus is walking off down the corridor.
Yeah, let's go up the stairs. Towards the light.
Okay, going upstairs. Rob is taking the lead. So you follow the stairs. They lead up to about 100 foot in distance and opens up into quite a flat, circular kind of room. There is a shrine at the back of this chamber. It's a shrine that's bearing a bit of a feral visage of a brutally beautiful, monstrous maiden, but with the head of a three-eyed jackal and the belly of a pregnant woman. So it's a a humanoid form, a jackal head with three eyes, but is pregnant and cradling the belly.
Is it like a sculpture, or is it like a composite made by the hags, or?
Yeah, it's kind of just it's a sculpture, more like a statue, but it's just kind of leaning off to one side, leaning against the wall.
Does this bear any resemblance to the doors we saw in, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's where we met Till's character?
Till's character.
That was back way.
Oh, what in
it was in the shape of the head. It was in the temple there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the effigies that were carved into the temple doors of pregnant women giving
That's the one.
to demons.
Yeah. Memory jogged.
See, now if I was DM, I think I'd have given Elena a hero point then.
But you're not, so no. Now go on then. Ready? Here you go.
PP coin.
Thanks.
It worked.
TV magic. Look at that. No budget spared at all. None.
These new webcams are amazing.
That's what the Amazon Prime goes towards. Those magic tricks.
Transmutation. There we go. We beam it across the screen. But there you go. We got. That's broadband for you. That's what that is. Right. So yeah. So it's more like a carved statue, but it's just kind of been plonked to the side. It's kind of just leaning against the wall.
As if it's been moved or discarded.
Yeah, it's so there's a shrine like a table shrine in the back of the room. Probably it would have sat on top, but it's been taken down. It's just kind of discarded.
Do you think we should put it back?
Do I recognise it as any religious symbol?
Not as a that's tricky because Yelena's got it right. You just need to see if you can remember what name was attached to it.
Lamashtu.
Okay. So
the mother of monsters.
Yes.
Ah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, that was a temple of Lamashtu.
It was quite a while ago.
My mind also kept going back to the statue of Lamashtu that was in the Temple of Wrath under Sandpoint.
Why is it here?
Or why has it been moved?
Do you think we should put it back?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, should we destroy it?
Here's my theory. The Kreegs were in cahoots with Lucretia and that sect with, the Skinsaw men and everything that we know is to do with Lamashtu and Norgorber from our experiences in Magnamar. But then there's all these ogres that are now chained up. And, the Kreeg seem to have been taken down. So it's almost like new management has moved in. So maybe this new management that's moved in follows somebody else. So in terms of us finding Lucretia or chasing down that particular lead, this is perhaps a dead end. But have we discovered something else instead?
Yeah, I think we need to look around the room.
Yeah.
As you're sort of walking around the room and this statue, you start to hear the wind is still there, but it's almost now like you can hear voices and whispers in the wind.
Do we understand what they're saying, or is it indistinct?
It's indistinct at the moment.
Okay.
Can I cast detect magic?
You can cast detect magic, yeah. Nothing happens yet.
I go over and just have a look to see what's on that shrine as well. Just have a little bit of a prod some things with my dagger. What's all this stuff?
Okay. So as you step over to the... So what I'll do is I'll switch to the other cam so the audience can see. So as you step over to the shrine area, let me see if I can... It's like... think Lord of the Rings. Think about the Ghost Army. This figure walks out of the wall. Okay, if you're watching on Twitch, you can see this figure. He is holding a long, curved, snake-like dagger. His left hand, the fingers are extended claws of ice. And his crown, he wears it, but it's like spikes, again, of icicles. And his eyes are completely undead. His lips are curled back. And he's wearing long robes of military stature. And you see the insignature of the Black Arrows.
St. Baden! My God, what have they done to you? Commander Baden, sorry.
You know him, Maud.
I sort of stagger back a bit, but not too far because I don't want to fall into a hole with the skeletons.
Why's halfling?
I've got the dagger up, and I'm like, yes, it's our commander from the fort. He was taken when I was taken. My God. Ugh, what have they done? He was not like this.
He looks aggressive.
Does the guy, the undead creature, react?
No, he's standing there. He's just looking at you, and the sounds around him, that air and those voices, it seems to move. You know, he's got his hair hanging down. It seems to move the wisps of his hair. His feet are kind of shrouded in a smoke, which is slowly kind of coming along the floor towards you, or around the shrine.
Rob, this is your area of expertise, I believe.
Can I understand what's happening? There's a... What, is it going around the shrine or the pit?
It's just, at the moment, it's just going to go around the shrine. It's just, and it face of nothing. It's not. It doesn't kind of fill the whole room.
No. I walk up with divine light in on my staff and just go, who are you? What do you want? What's this smoke?
So, because you're on the other side of the pit, it's going to take you, as you start to kind of step forward with obvious intent. We got the staff are lit as well. He springs into action. So what he does, his sword, he throws it across the room, and it digs into the wall on the opposite side. And then he bounds round to the left as you're coming around. It's almost like he runs up the wall. He's running around the wall itself. And he pulls, this bow appears, and he just, there's no quiver, there's no like ghostly arrows or anything like that. And he pulls it and just goes, and 3 arrows thunk into the floor in front of Rup, Torquus, and Elias. And immediately, this eruption of ice with sharp spikes comes at you. right out of the ground, aiming for your bellies. Can you, each of you, please make a reflex saving throw?
Bellies?
$19.
35.
Natural 20.
Can I use halfling luck on that? I'm gonna use my reaction to use halfling luck.
I will let you use that, yes.
So that is 27.
That's fine, yeah. Okay.
Mine's 35 total. Well done, Nat 20.
Well done.
God, he was a great warrior as a commander, and what have they done to him? It's going to be even more dangerous now. Commander, we're friends.
He kind of, as he skirts up the wall, fires the arrows, he comes back down to the ground. He kind of stands there, and he summons the sword again. He catches it, and then he does his flourish that you remember him doing. Every now and then he would show off how good a swordsman he was, and he puts it in his a waist, and then it seems to kind of disappear. And he's just standing there. There's no grin, there's no recognition. He's got dead eyes. He's standing there.
Commander Baden, he's still in there. That's such a Baden move. A bit of a show off.
And Harrison followed by Tolkus. What would you like to do?
Doing a Baden.
Would this person be considered airborne? Are they levitating?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so I won't do what I'm going to be doing. So I will attempt to withdraw my short swords even, and I will run up to Commander Baden menacingly and attack, or try to attack. Hopefully no one stops me.
Are you pleading?
So that's 2 6s for my double strike. So obviously 2 6s plus the 20, so 26 for both attacks.
Missed.
Okay, so you see Harrison swing wildly at this.
You don't swing wildly. As you swing, the sword appears off his hip, and he just he blocks both, and then swirl, and then back in, and he's back into his stance.
Okay, and I'm just standing there now in close combat with this thing, and I'm just like, okay, well that didn't work. Help.
Tolkus, you're up, followed by Rup.
Okay. Tolkus is going to pull out his battle axe instead of his great axe, and he gives it a punch in the air, sort of thing, from the hilt, and the head just explodes into flame. Ooh, and then he activates his shield, energy shield, on his other arm. Yep. And then he walks up in between Harrison and the ghostly figure, and then he just puts the shield up like that, but he doesn't attack. Because I want to see, because so far this thing's just kind of looks like it's trying to maybe stop us from going further forward rather than actually attack us, but I could be wrong. Okay. If that makes sense. That's just my out of game thinking.
So you're standing ready with your shield.
Yeah, so I am doing what's it called again?
Raise shield.
Yeah, raise shield. So I get +2, I think it is, extra on my armor class.
Yeah, that's fine. But basically, you've activated the fire on your axe. You've activated your light shield, but you're not making.
No, I'm gonna effectively. I mean, I can't remember if in Pathfinder you have the hold action. Do you? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're just ready, basically.
Yeah, so I'm doing that, and if he does attack me or Harrison, then I will attack him back. Yeah, if that makes sense.
In my head, I just had Clash of the Titans, where he raises his like sword and shield. He's just ready, and then he makes his move.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly that.
Good. Right, Rup, you're up, followed by Mordecai.
Rob, you're up.
Yeah, I stumble back from the ice shards and slowly walk around and just go, Harrison, please. He's a distinguished commander, but something's happened to him. We can just go. You must be in pain. Can I help you?
He's again. There's no recognition. He just stands there motionless.
Do I recognize him as undead?
He's definitely undead. He is basically now been transformed into a wight.
A white. Okay.
A white.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's some sort of automated, effectively response to going near the, what was it, the thing that the statue goes on or whatever.
The shrine.
Yeah, the shrine. Yeah, couldn't think of the word.
What is on the shrine right now? That's not.
Nothing. It looks like old candles, old disused candles. They're going around a kind of a square base, which is probably the base of the old statue.
Okay.
It's basically now a disused worshiping area.
I still walk forward behind Tulkas, I guess.
Okay.
Shining divine light in his face, which shouldn't be very happy for him.
Bit uncomfortable.
Bit uncomfortable, I guess.
He doesn't seem to be reacting from anything. He's just standing there.
Okay.
Mordecai.
Cool.
I'm just, I'm so angry at what they've done to him and horrified by this, but I still, that swirl, I'm still wondering whether I can somehow get to the man who was our commander. Is there some kind of I don't know, knowing him and knowing his moves, is there sort of an occultism or arcana check that I can do to kind of see how I can maybe kind of engage with him?
There is definitely, so you recognize him straight away. That is your commander, your friend, your ally. Yeah. He is essentially still a good man. He has been, where you have been beaten, he has been beaten mind, body and soul. He has been twisted, so all the goodness is now out of him. But there must be something of him inside for him to do the same flourish. He seems to have retained his skills, although slightly augmented, to be able to run up a wall.
Yeah, he didn't used to do that. I try a sort of a training maneuver that we would do where we'd kind of fall in line, not fighting with each other, but we'd have sort of this imaginary kind of target. So I'd sort of say training target on the wall and throw my dagger at it and see whether he'd kind of join in the training move and see whether I can get him to, get that to kind of resonate out,
Okay.
Allies together.
I will. He does. So you throw the dagger into the wall, and you say what you just said. He reacts, and he seems to pull his sword out. He flourishes and throws it into where your dagger is, right next to it. Perfect precision. And for that, I'll reward you with a hero point.
Yay!
There you go.
Extra PP point.
Fine.
Big PP.
I'll have him back.
He's there. Let's try and work with him. I don't know. Let's try and convert him. I don't know what.
Elias and Yelena, you're up as well if you want to.
I'm going to try and strengthen the path that Mordecai's already taken. So I have a focus spell as part of my school training. It's called Charming Words, and I can whisper words to try and reduce somebody's anger, mainly when it's directed at me. But what I'm going to try and do is weave that magic into the stuff that Mordecai has just done. I'm going to say, Commander, you don't know me, but you know this man here. You know Mordecai. You're a member of the Black Arrows, and I can't imagine what you've been through here. You know, I've faced the ogres myself, and you know, I've become angry and broken at times because they just, to me, they embody everything that's evil. I can't imagine what you've been through, but you have to let go of this anger. You have to release. You have to remember who you are. And as I'm doing this, I'm weaving these words with this magical energy, using my charming words to try and reduce his rage and try and still his spirit and bring more of himself back to the front. I don't know much about undead, so I'm just trying to think how I can, you know, calm him down. That's what I'm trying to do. It's a will saving throw if you're going to let me use that spell in a slightly, you know, off kilter fashion.
Okay, you see him as you're trying to enhance your words with magic. Rupp has also got the staff lit as well, and you see almost as if he shimmers, and you see Mordecai. You see for just a glimpse, it's like he's trying to separate. So you see this ice crown, white, and then you see his face trying to tear himself apart, but then he's like. He's back in.
You can do it, Commander. You can do it. Go, Commander.
Okay, I'd like to move some within 30 foot of the Commander.
Yep.
And then I'd like to try something which I don't know whether it will work, but I would like to try and cast Remove Fear on him.
Okay.
Ooh.
It doesn't say if there's a save or anything. It just says with a touch, or in this case I've got reach, so I can do it 30 foot. You ease a creature's fears. You can attempt to counteract a single fear effect that the target suffers from. This frees only the target, so it would only affect him.
Okay. You see him again. So with everyone now kind of, you've got the three of you kind of helping, the four of you trying to help in. Mordecai is there pleading to his commander to try to get through, to try to make a connection. Elias is trying to use magic to boost these words from the whole group. Tolkos is in a defensive stance. Rupp is just kind of lightening, and the pulse seems to grow brighter. Even though you're not commanding it to, it seems to like pum, pum. There's a slight gentle pulse to it, and you can start feeling it through the staff as well. And Yelena, you kind of manage to get through, help him to drop the fear that is possibly attached to his soul. You see him split again, and this time he's pulling out, and he manages to say to you, Mordecai, I am lost. You must save the rest of the arrows. Do not waste your time here. I am lost now. Go back.
Join us, Commander. Fight it.
And then you see him try. He starts to fight it. You see him start to scream, and almost as if you've got two soul bodies, and the smoke in between starts to kind of almost tear and pull apart. What would anyone like to do?
Okay. Is there any way we can assist the pulling apart?
Rob, can you do anything?
Well, how much? So, undead in this world, I'm guessing I know a bit about it. How this undead usually don't have souls as such, and if you were to rip this from its body, I mean, it's not gonna. It might not survive. It probably quite far gone, I guess, if it's already a white level. but I can pump it full of positive energy if that helps.
Go for it. Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. So yeah, the staff of light starts to shine brighter and focus. The rays, they start to coalesce and kind of focus in on the point between his eyes, and as the light just focuses in towards the creature, and I'm going to cast max level heal. And pump it full of positive energy. See if that helps.
It's as Baron says, it's the mood slime. So you cast heal just as the lights channel into one. You get this beam of bright white light erupts from the staff, which you wasn't expecting it to do, and suddenly there is almost like the crackle when you see lightning, but there's no boom. It's just. And all you see after a huge burst of white light is the image of the white is gone. The commander is standing there. Same armor, same pieces, but the ice crown is gone. His normal face is back, and his bow and his sword is there, and he's there for a brief moment before he smiles at everyone, smiles at Mordecai, kind of bows and salutes, and then slowly just seems to just fade into pieces.
Good job.
Elena's
all
going to
die.
walk up and put her hand on Mort's shoulder.
Thank you, Yelena.
You seem like a
We
good
all
man.
die, as we used to say in the Black Arrows, but to do it well, thank you. Thank you, my friends, for freeing the commander.
You couldn't go on like that.
He would have suffered, and that suffering ends.
Yeah.
We all die.
Good job, guys.
We all
Good
die.
job.
Oh, his message was clear that there are at least some Black Arrows that still live.
Need to find them.
We
I
do.
guess we need to go into the dark.
Yes. We need
Well,
to carry on.
henceforth, he said quickly.
Did.
Oh, Dave's gone quiet.
Dave.
Dropped.
The cold in the room all starts to dissipate. All the the smoke and the mist that you've seen now is all kind of just faded, just back away. Temperature seems to return back to normal. It's still cold, just not ice cold.
Onwards and downwards.
Down we go. Down the stairs.
What was on the shrine?
You found some candles and stuff.
Okay.
If you want to go and have another look, you can.
Yeah, let's have a proper search.
So they're on the shrine. There's old candles, not ancient old, just old. Definitely not been used. And where the candles would have dripped wax naturally, there is an outline of a kind of square, and you notice the statue has a square base. Resident Evil people. Shape hole.
Yeah.
Shape hole.
That's why I said, should we put it back and see if anything happens?
I'm still thinking that's a bad idea, Tolkien.
Maybe.
Oh, but we like bad
I mean,
ideas.
maybe if there's something new here, having the old energy might disrupt the whatever's kind of put it in. The enemy of our enemy.
Yeah.
The more we disrupt the.
We want the master
But
to be our
then you
friend.
were in this old temple, so I don't know. Mother of Monsters doesn't sound great to me either.
I don't want. I'd rather destroy a shrine to Lamashtu than.
Yeah, likewise.
Let's put it back and then destroy it.
Should we go and find the other black arrows and then maybe revisit?
Maybe,
Yes.
Yeah. Remember
I
the
think you're
amulet
right.
as well, by the entrance, what we didn't take. Or did we take it in the end?
What's that?
That would be
Statue.
greedy of you, Harrison.
What
No,
was
I
that?
didn't mean for me.
He said about the
The huge
the
medallion.
huge medallion.
The
yeah.
wagon wheel medallion.
Dinner bell.
I said it would be greedy of him to try and take that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work anyway. It was too big.
I could wear it. I could fashion it.
Elena's going to head out of the room.
He walked. To just get this right, he walked through the statue, or it appeared he walked through the statue.
Yes.
Right. So can we just check round behind the statue, see if there's like a secret entrance or something? Rather than him walking through the statue, did he actually come in a door? Or,
Yeah, let's check. I guess behind it.
Let's check behind the statue just to make sure we're not missing something obvious. Like there's the prison entrance behind the statue, and that's where all the black arrows are.
The statue is still leaning against the wall. So who's doing it? Elias? Rupp?
Well, no, not me, because I'm 3 feet with a strength of 8. So if I could call upon the assistance of my big friend Tolkus to move the statue for me, that'd be awesome.
Yes, of course. I'll move it out of the way. How big is it?
It's let's say life size. So it's smaller than you, but made of stone. It's heavy.
Okay, I'll drag it out.
If it's a bit heavy, why don't you just lift it up and put it on the shrine there? That little square on the altar.
August, please no.
Seems like it might fit there quite well. I think.
Don't listen to the curious wizard.
Harrison's going to head over to the statue with Tolkus, and they'll go to me.
Oh no! At least we know it'll be destroyed by the time it gets there.
I'll just move it away from the wall by like a couple of feet or something.
Okay. With Harrison helping, he's kind of like...
I get the feeling he's hindering more than anything.
Harrison, can you roll a perception check for me, please?
Sure. That is a 21.
Okay, good. So you're at the head end as kind of Tolkus picks up the body of it. Carrying literally like a mannequin statue. So you've got this, you're behind Tolkus. Tolkus is big, so this jackal, 3-eyed jackal head is like looking down at you. And just as you're like, you see in the back of its mouth, at the back of its tongue, there appears to be a ring.
Oh, I will reach in and grab it.
Okay.
While you're carrying it, or when it's been put down?
Well, I think Tolkus is taking most of the way at this point anyway, so I'll be using one free hand.
You haven't touched it yet. You're like,
Oh, sorry. I thought we were doing a to me to you moment.
You were.
Okay. So I will reach in and grab the ring before we lift it.
Okay. So it's already on Tolkus' shoulder. So you're like, whoa, trying to get this as Tolkus carries it away. You find it. You pull out a ring, and on it is it's the military insignia of the Black Arrows. It's very ornate feeling around it.
I'll show it to Mort and say I think this might be either Commander's or I think it needs to go to
the Commander's ring.
Needs to go to the Black Arrows.
I will bring it back. I will take this and wear it proudly, and I represent. Thank you for finding it. It must be the statue must be a lot lighter now too, Tolkus.
Oh yes, I noticed it when he pulled the ring out. It suddenly became lighter.
Glad I could help.
All the weight of that responsibility that was on inside.
Anything behind the statue.
So thank you. I'll take that ring if that's okay.
Sure. It's yours.
Thank you.
You hand it over. It is, in fact, you do recognise it. It is the Commander's. It's the Commander's old wedding ring. So he had his military ring blended with his wedding ring. So it was very precious to him. But you know it as his.
Yeah.
Is it magical?
Have I disappeared?
No.
Am I invisible?
No. Do you want to put it on? You can put it on if you want to. Or
I'll put it on because otherwise, I put it on.
You instantly feel blessed. You feel warm. A surge of energy is in you, but that anger that was previously there, that you had again for the ogres, is kind of just washed away. there's a feeling of, you understand now that the ogres have obviously been pressured into something. They've been turned into slaves and held against them, and then you wanted them dead, and then these heroes have turned up and killed them for you. And then, so your next thing was to find where your friends were, and so far you've only found, well, you may have found them in the cooking pot, but you found one, the commander. But you feel kind of that anger washes away with it as well.
I'm feeling
ring of passive.
I'm feeling great.
Green Lantern.
I'm feeling much calmer. This is great. Thank you so much for finding this ring. I remember the commander, and I have compassion for the ogres. You know.
Sounds good.
Let's cleanse this place.
Are we carrying the statue, Tulkas, now?
No, I'll just put it down.
Let's take it with us.
Yeah. Put it back on the plinth. Dead square with the candle wax. Oh look, it would fit there very nicely. I will put it there.
Okay.
If you want to, fine.
Look, we need to clear this place out. You need to find the rest of the arrows.
I do. Maybe I should go and start looking for arrows.
Well, we sent Iona back to Fort Rennick to bring the arrows here, or the remainder of the arrows here. We thought we might face off against, a larger tribe of ogres. It appears now that what we're facing off against is something else, and the ogres are actually, well, they're slaves or they're servants or something else. We're not going to have time to search these mines. You need to go now and meet up with Iona and bring the rest of the black arrows to this place. And, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but maybe free the ogres. Get them to help you find the rest of the black arrows. We'll root out whatever else is in here and take care of it.
Indeed, I was carried, and the black arrows will follow me with this ring as well. They'll know that I've got the commander's blessing, and I'd have the commander's blessing. And thank you for getting me out of that hole, and thank you so much for helping the commander.
No problem.
You're welcome.
Happy to help.
Happy to help and put him to
rest. We all die.
Now, I can't send you any quicker. Like I did Iona. You're gonna have to make your own way back. But
that's right.
You'll be fine.
Yes, I think I will now. I think I will.
We'll investigate the last room and then
salute,
and then head down ourselves.
And I exit out.
Okay, Mordecai has left you in a bit of a hurry to reunite himself with people at Fort Rannoch, the Black Arrows. And as you leave this next chamber, you walk back down the stairs and face this looming cavern with just darkness. And we will leave it there, and we will find out what happens next week.
Yay!
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Ralph, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph.
That was a pleasure.
Great.
That was a pleasure.
It was great fun. Thank you for having me.
Cool. How was that, players? Was that okay? We overran a little bit.
Yeah, it was good.
20 minutes over.
We did some good.
Fight, get a little searching. It's good.
Rob did bad.
Rob did good as well.
We wasn't going to mention that, Chris, but I think Rupp atoned for himself in the end there by helping the commander.
We'll see. Yeah.
There's still time. There's still time. We can wait and see. Right, to everyone who's joining us, thank you very much. We will see you again Monday for Great British Brush Off, Thursday for more Runelords, Friday for Annihilation, and Saturday for the Shifting Spire over in Australia.
Good day, mate.
That's about as best we got.
Did you try and do an Australian accent when there was an Aussie present?
It's brave, but it's not bad. It's okay.
Australia for another
What
zombie on the barbie.
What is that?
I have no idea. It's very late. It's gone midnight here. We're all tired. We are going to leave you
cold.
We're going to leave you with the Ardent roleplay trailer. So do check that out. And then I'm going to send Steve off to raid Dwarven Forge.
Yep.
Cool. Right. Cyril, have a good day. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks for joining us.
This week.
Bye,
Having me.
everybody.
Happy adventuring.
Yeah.